The D and Davis Show.
D and Davis, the show. It is a happy Wednesday for you. Last night, Coby White started for the first time.
Yeah.
It's a terrific performance, to say the least.
About damn time.
Oh, my goodness. I saw a Hall of Famer last night, even though it's Tuesday before the game starts.
Did the Bulls text you, D? Like, we got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been calling for it.
Like, hey, we heard you on the score.
But
and
you know
right.
what? It still goes back to what Jason Goff, who works for NBC Chicago, doing pre and post, said to us on our show that you didn't want him to develop bad habits.
Yeah.
And if you really look at this last stretch, and since the All-Star game, it may have helped to not throw him to the wolves and let him figure it out. Like I'm starting to look at, because I try to see a silver line in something. D and Davis Show. I am Kenneth Davis.
Demonspero D. Hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at D and Davis Show. Once again, it's at D and Davis Show. Facebook.com/D and Davis Show. iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Music, Stitcher, the TuneIn app. We're on Anchor. We're sure to Spotify. What is that nasty ass thing on TV?
Facts.
I got thrown off by this horrible thing from Carl's Jr. Disgusting. But shout out to Carl. Maybe it might be a sponsor of us one day. And a whole host of other podcasts. You can just simply search for D and Davis Show and D and Davis Flip. I'm on Twitter and IG at Demons1, DEMONZE1. Ken's on Twitter and IG at That's Davis. Executive producer of the D and Davis Show and D and Davis The Flip, Ryan Bukoveski. Follow Ryan on Twitter at Ryan B. Ski and IG Ryan B. Ski 1.
So what I was about to say, I think the only silver lining for the Jim Boylan coaching disaster that has taken place almost the last 2 seasons is perhaps Coby White's future. Like, that's the only thing that he made.
What do you got to do anything?
Because I kind of feel like, I know initially you was like, just throw him out there and let him play. But I kind of feel like the type of player, like, for instance, Goff said that he looks at him as being Lou Williams or a Jamal Crawford.
And this is off the top, too.
Yeah, this is off the top.
Off the top!
He says that. And I think there's still a chance, and partially, and this is just subjective, I think there's a chance his hero and his mentee and the AAU team he played for was Chris Paul's, that he wants to be more than that. And I think that them holding him back, his assists have been up. He's had a 10 assist game, a 7 assist game. I think maybe he had a 9 assist game. And just looking at, I was looking at Stephen Noah's from The Athletic, his breakdown of Coby the last couple of weeks and how defensively he's went up. I kind of feel like perhaps this is the one thing Jim Boylan didn't blow as the Bulls coach, and it may not have hurt Coby White to sit there and not develop, going back to golf, develop bad habits that he would have to come through and bringing him through solely in a season that didn't matter.
I know John Paxson, I think it was John Paxson, or maybe it was Jim Boylan, said like we just have to be positive for Coby for the rest of the season. So it sounds as if he's going to just start for the rest of the season.
You
might as well go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's 20 games left.
Yeah, 16.
But one thing
It's only 16?
I think it's something like that.
Yeah,
right around 16.
Yeah. So one thing, the only reason why I said I wanted to see him start so early because I wanted to try to see what rapport he had with Zach and try to build that foundation, because this was early enough in the season. People were still thinking like, well, maybe they could get on a stretch and maybe they could do something and maybe they could do this. But now with Zach, he's out for a couple of games. Well, he's been out for a couple of games. Try to see at least when he gets back. But I wanted to see them kind of build a rapport together, on the court chemistry together, because we don't know what's going on with Laurie, what I call him the Finnish Squire.
Nice play with Coby sucking in the defense.
He would be, but we just don't know what's going on with him.
It up.
Yeah, so you got Wendell Carter. He just got back.
He's been bad since who's been his coach?
Oh, yeah, Boylan. Well, Boylan's a bad coach. He's just a bad coach.
He didn't help. He regressed. Like, I'm not putting it all on Boylan.
He regressed. I completely agree. I mean, it still has to be some part of the player that still want to go out there and do that. I mean, be that strong player that you think he can be or think you want to be. But Boylan didn't help. So I just wanted to try to see the chemistry. That was my biggest thing. And also, too, listen, I still think Coby is, if you want to say this is still a part of the rebuild, he's still probably as of right now, because everybody else I think is movable.
He's movable too.
He is, but I think he's at least the one more solid. I'm not saying he's untouchable. But if you just want to say off the players on the team who you want to at least have a foundation with or start with, it might just be him.
Only problem with that is I feel like if he's a combo guard, no. If he's a point guard, maybe yes.
Well, I know the big thing he's saying, he doesn't want to be labeled as a point guard. He just want to be kind of like a guard. Just a wing.
I think he wants to be known as a point.
No, from what I've been hearing, he said he doesn't.
No, he wants to be regarded as.
I thought he just wanted to be part of it as a guard. He could be like, shout out to Becky Hammond. Just wanted to be just a guard. So I don't know. Whatever the case may be, the season is lost. The season is over, and Boylan's probably going to be out, and the team knows he's going to be out.
Well, coming out today, rumor was the Bulls want the next GM to think about retaining them.
And that's why nobody want to come here. That kind of stupidity. Why?
Hey, I really like this guy. You got to take him as coach.
I don't even think a fan. It had to be a super fan of guard packs to be like, yeah, I'll keep him. Nobody wants to keep this dude. Why?
Boy, they're going to get like a thirsty scout as GM, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what's going to seem like it's going to happen.
Just
Somebody's
some
like, I finally get my first
scout
job
somewhere. Like, hey, I'll do whatever you want if you make me GM.
Yes, and who's going to turn that down?
Wow, Jimmy.
It's only 30 of those positions in the league. Who's going to turn that down?
Right now, it doesn't even look like the Indiana Pacers GM would come if this is kind of some of the silliness. And Chad Buchanan, I like him as a potential candidate, but he's not like, oh my gosh, you've got the basketball czar, you fixed everything. Right. Like Sam Presti would obviously be number one if you could get him, but you'd have to give him all this power.
They have to give him all the power. And would they have to give up something to get him?
No,
I don't think so.
He's
but they have to give up a ton of money.
No, but
is he still on the contract?
He's real close with the owner, and they feel like the owner will let him walk if that's his.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And listen, it's not as if Sam Presti has built a championship, but he has built a very solid program down in Oklahoma City. Yeah. It's in freaking Oklahoma City.
That's the key point.
It's in Oklahoma City.
It wasn't his fault. It seems like when we go back, it wasn't his fault they traded
James Harden.
The
owner didn't want to do it.
Right.
So it wasn't the fact that he messed up like that or whatever.
So, I mean...
For that,
I'm happy with Coby.
$4 million.
Yeah, I'm happy with Coby starting. I think it should have happened a long time ago. Go out there and build. But Ken has a valid point. You don't want him to be playing in the muck. So when it was really, really bad and he developed those bad habits. But you know what? A lot of good players, unfortunately, you have to start off on very bad teams, and eventually with the dog within them, they get everything right.
The only thing that's scary, if Jim Boylan's still the head coach, he probably couldn't count on too many things with Coby White, seeing as how he was a rookie. So next year, he's probably going to incorporate him in the game plan. So is Coby White going to downfall like Lauri Markkanen?
Facts. It's a good point. You got to get him out. Also, too, did he shave his head? He's always been bald like that.
He's always been like that. Jim Boylan.
Yeah, he's always been bald.
Seems like that the new setup. Because we know this is going leading to the off the top. Another one. The COVID-19, as I like to call it, is spreading now throughout America in multiple ways. You have New Rochelle, New York, the whole entire city is basically under quarantine. The National Guards have been sent down there. So that's crazy. But also, too, we had I'm about to say the big four sports leagues, but MLS isn't that big. NBA, MLB. What was the other one, Ryan? MLS, and there's one other one. NBA, MLB, MLS, and NHL.
Yeah.
Sorry hockey fans. But they came out. Sorry, Sid. But they came out with a joint statement, saying, talking about the coronavirus and how the media is going to be treated or
banned from the locker room.
Yeah, no one is going to be able to go into the locker room unless you're basically part of the team. That's it. So now they've been setting up the press rooms. Basically, everybody comes out. Head coaches, players come out. The press is kind of far back. It's kind of the vein of kind of like when they have like big, like if you're throughout the basketball season and they have like big press conferences during the playoffs or the NBA finals. It kind of looks like that in a sense.
Yeah, college teams do that. Like college football, college basketball. You're not allowed in the locker room. They come out and they sit at a podium and talk to you.
When I covered
in a galley.
Yeah, when I covered UIC Flames basketball many years ago, that's what we did. They would come out to the gallery to come sit down and you come talk to them. But you have the Ivy League has canceled. Men and women had canceled their NCAA tournament. Had the other ones up here. The Big West and the Max tournaments, the men's and women's tournament, is being blocked from all spectators, and is only going to be the teams, the media, And that's really about it, y'all. So,
But one team from the MAC will go on with fans. The
Who's
Columbus
that?
Blue Jackets. Their home games
the
are
NHL
still open.
The NHL Columbus Blue Jackets.
No. The from the MAC. I believe.
Oh, okay, all right. That's kind of stupid. But no, how do y'all feel about this? Now it's starting to seep into the sports league. And on the last flip, we talked about how LeBron James said he's kind of walked back his statements. LeBron James said that
Play in front of fans.
yeah, he want to play in front of fans.
Well, he needed to walk him back because
he
he's
had to
not
walk it back
skipping any games.
because think about it. If it happens, you're going to play.
Of course, he's going to lose out on his MVP.
Yeah.
You think the chances that he may have surged or caught Giannis this past weekend with a win over the Bucks and then over the Clippers, he's going to throw that all away and all that work because he wants to hear the roaring fans? Hell no, he's going to be out there playing.
I was wrong about that. It is the NHL Blue Jackets, but
It's the Columbus Blue Jackets, the NHL.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
I guess the governor of Ohio is recommending it. Mm-hmm.
Dude, if you was a governor, I ask this both of y'all. If you was a governor right now and you had big events, wouldn't you basically say like, hey, y'all need to push these back or hold them off? Wouldn't y'all do the same thing?
Yeah, probably. You got to always go public safety. I don't know what the upside is to, playing a tournament, big event. Like obviously people are going to be upset and it might be logistics nightmare to reschedule or redo it, but they've got to have something within these plannings. Like, hey, worst case scenario, if we have a flood or something, what are we going to do?
There you go.
You would think that they'd have some kind of like
A contingency
tentative
plan?
contingency plan of some kind. And yeah, I mean, you got to think about yourself as like a politician. Voters down the line, are they going to vote for you if you're not looking out for their utmost safety and you leave yourself open to targeting from your competition down the road, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's a smart thing to do. I don't know how far they get within the professional leagues because now, even with these college leagues, college tournaments, they're losing money. The concessions, the gate.
And they don't make that much.
And they don't make that much. So that's probably why the Ivy League might probably say like, man, nobody's coming to see Yale versus Harvard and Brown, that big old Brown versus Harvard game. They probably don't make that much money. So, and already these are already very rich schools with, say deep endowments.
Real quick side note of
what's up?
topic. This is from the Stephen No. Now, this is a quote. Now when we should learn how equipped White is to run a team, he was drafted on the premise
Coby White's movie.
that he is a point guard. He sees himself as such and has shown flashes of his savviness as a facilitator. But for much of this season, White has been tasked as being a spot-up shooter, secondary ball creator.
All right, so he wants to be the point guard, but it's this year. Okay, well, hey, listen. Hopefully he.
I mean, if he's
figures
with
it out.
Chris Paul, you would think.
Only reason I think is that's his idol. And
Well, Chris Paul said after they played, like he just said basically, "Well, Kobe, we got to work on some things, and we're
That's what I
gonna."
was-
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
to
Like,
me,
he's gonna be training
I've
with Chris Paul in the
actually thinking
summer.
this for 2 to 3 weeks. Longer, maybe we can go back to when him and Wendell was posing and people got upset. But that's your idol, I think, again, he may not be like that, being a scoring guard, but I would think you would try to get as close to that person as likely so I could see him becoming a better facilitator and picking the mind of a guy with one of the highest basketball IQs.
Yeah, isn't
in the
Chris
world.
Paul?
Yeah.
Isn't he called the point god to players?
Should be.
Like I think players refer to him like if he's the mecca of point guard, if we think of him that way, or
He's the
young
closest
players,
thing to Isaiah Thomas.
Right.
And he's not Isaiah Thomas.
So if you're going to
He's
him,
the closest thing to Isaiah
you're going to
Thomas.
Chris Paul to
Probably.
learn how to be a point guard,
Yeah.
not to be anything else.
And I mean, it's not like Chris Paul is not a scorer.
Right.
But he
Yeah,
just
he can.
knows the game.
Right.
So
He's a very smart player.
Yeah. So that to me is like, again, if Coby White is going to be somewhat of a point guard, because if you're telling me, and this has nothing to do with what you're saying, D, but I'm not going to build my team and hold on to Lou Williams. I'm not. I'm going to deal him and try to get some, especially if teams that are trying to go for a title, and I got a 6-man right here that can take you over the hump. I'm moving that ass when time comes to show. So that's but if he can be a point, I was a Coby White fan when the draft happened. I know we went back to it. We're talking about the coronavirus in college and the places in cancellation. But that's my only thing. If you're telling me that, then, and he's one of those guys that I love, but I tell myself, don't love him like that. There's a bias in there. So I've tried to watch the games through that lens. Now getting to the coronavirus situation. Listen, at my JOB today, we got an email talking about basically to warn us and what we need to do if something happens.
Yeah, we got the email.
Funny point, I was on the elevator leaving, and there was on the rail in the elevator a tall bottle of water that was unopened, and I took a picture of it and just laughed because I was like, that's kind of cute. That's clearly someone trying to see if someone will take this with the coronavirus being out right now. Right, because I mean, like, why else? Like, it was unopened. It was a tall bottle of water or whatever. Listen, you have to do what you have to do. This is the thing. Going to a friend of the show, big brother of ours, Lawrence Holmes, had a good show as he usually does today, and it was talking about how the leagues are concerned about the hangers on in the locker room. That not the guys that have deadlines, but the guys that are just in the locker room. And this may be, and so they've been wanting to kind of get one of those guys. When they first announced this, my first thought was, when is this going to end? Because this could be prolonged.
Oh, so it's sort of like when Bears Bourbonnais.
Yeah, good point.
And it was like, oh yeah, no, we just do this for the first time with media, independent outlets, and now it's basically like, no, this is just what it is.
Yeah, and it's my first thought when it happened was, I wonder if they're going to let them back in. Like, that was my first thought when it happened. I wonder if they're going to let them back in.
The media?
Yeah, the media.
So, I mean, you talking about some media members as hanger-ons?
That's what they're saying.
They say that's like one of the best sources of getting information. Hang around the locker room, talk to players.
But they're saying basically, they're saying like really, and I don't want to just say the print guys, but the guys that are on deadline. Because they know those guys have to, they got to get their information and may have to, get going.
Yeah.
So that's what that there was mentioned on the Lawrence Holmes show on the 670 Score at noon every weekday. Definitely listen. Always appreciate what Lawrence has done for us.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. So it's just, my thought was just, again, I saw Tony posted earlier where he was sitting in a room where they brought out, like you mentioned, college not Gar Forman, Jim Boylan, yeah. And that's my only, because again, we know through the connections that you talked to. I was watching, I think it was McManus on NBA The Jump, talking about how the article he came up with recently about LeBron, it wasn't recently, maybe in like the last year or so, about LeBron disliking commenting by Charles Barkley. That's my next off the top. By Charles Barkley about, I guess, his player, just him in general, that initially when him and LeBron were talking, that conversation germinated just from them having a conversation. He didn't go in asking LeBron that. Just from LeBron saying, them talking about what's on TV, that article came about, and just talking about how talking to players and having that connection, you kind of breathe out these type of articles that. And they're just saying how this can be something that can hurt us as fans and people in the media from getting more information than we would get when we know everyone wants to control the narrative.
Yeah, big one.
The Ian Davis Show. All right, off top. Why does Draymond have to Draymond? Draymond Green recently came out and said, I'm paraphrasing both of these, that Charles Barkley couldn't sit at his table when it comes to being,
he can't sit at the table because he has no rings.
He has no rings. I was going to say when it comes to being a champion. And also that he's lucky because he's going to come from his job. Charles Barkley clapped back and said, you're really good, but you can never take my job because you don't have a face for TV. You have a face for radio.
First of all, he don't have a face for TV. He's got a face for radio.
And then he went on to say that he was basically the guy standing next to Justin Timberlake that thinks people are clapping for him.
Like the guy in the boy band who's the least important member. And he think the crowd is like cheering for him. He doesn't realize he's standing next to Justin Timberlake. Yeah, he's the least famous person in the boy band, and he thinks he's a star.
Say he's in a boy band, but anybody
if there's an irrelevant person in a boy band.
He's that Jonas brother that nobody knows.
He said Justin Timberlake.
What's the B? He said what's the Korean band B? Whatever. But he's the one that does nothing in that group.
Right.
Hey, what is that?
BTS?
He's Ringo.
BTS. He's worse than Ringo. Ringo at least kind of drunk.
Ringo is one of the best drummers of all time.
Also, Ringo, come on.
But he was the forgotten man,
Ringo
right?
had that.
He was, but he
had that
had
Ringo sex appeal.
Yeah, man.
I know Ringo was getting at, like, dude,
Draymond's
first of all,
got that appeal.
Let me
right?
also say this.
No?
on the movie of Yellow Submarine as a kid growing up and that funky type of cartoonish that they put out, he was basically my favorite part because of that song, The Yellow Submarine. We all sailed in the Yellow Submarine. So you watch your Ringo slander in this, and he's alive.
Come on. He was the lowest part. That was Charles' part.
I mean, but that
he didn't want to
drumming,
throw
man.
shade
He's
at
not
Joey
George Harrison.
Fatone and Lance Bass.
But think about this when it comes to the Beatles and when it comes to Ringo. To be able to, all those hit songs, all these huge songs the Beatles had a catalog, always remember, it was him on the sticks and the skin.
Did women want Ringo? Because that was Charles'
let me
point.
tell you something. I'm sure Ringo got some nice.
Of course. You don't think any of the NSYNC brothers?
Oh yeah,
They didn't get Ringo. They didn't get Ringo, buddy.
No, it was like 4 of them.
The
It was
point
five.
is
They didn't get Ringo.
the consistency.
And also, Ringo can play an instrument.
All right. Go to the. I don't want to
This is
discuss
not a Ringo show.
Yeah, I don't want to discuss
Yeah,
Ringo.
There will not be Ringos.
Like, geez.
There will not. And also, he changed his last name to Star. That was not Ringo. We say the worst part about Ringo is that we don't say his last name anymore.
That's a positive thing?
Yeah, dog. When you
If one name guy.
when you bad enough to be like Ringo Starr, you a bad. And this is in the '60s. You a bad MF, brother. Like my name's Ringo
Move over,
Starr.
Paul McCartney, John Lennon. We got the real star in the house. Ringo Starr, baby.
Facts.
But no. Wait a minute. What would you just?
Yeah, you can't even remember. You're blacked out with
I
your
was
love
saying
for Ringo.
I love the Beatles.
Oh my God, Ringo! Hold the show.
Okay, wait a minute. So with Draymond, 2 points on that. One, honestly, I think he probably would translate pretty well to television. I think he would.
Yeah, but his words won't mean the same.
Yeah,
as
it's
Charles
just a
Barkley.
But this is the thing.
He was calling him ugly.
He's not as funny as Charles Barkley. And number two,
There's also not a lot of. Ugly
You forgot
people
one of the
on TV.
slanders that he said too.
wait a minute. But Draymond can't hold a candle to Charles Barkley on the court. Hell, not even Charles Barkley would body.
Also,
Body.
for anybody that hasn't seen
in their
Charles
prime, it wouldn't even be a matchup.
All right, so let's run this real quick for anybody that hasn't seen Charles Barkley, because Charles Barkley and Draymond Green are about 1.5 inches to 2 inches separate. All right, as far as height wise.
Yeah.
Draymond's maybe 6'8" tops. Charles Barkley.
I wouldn't
was
even
maybe
say that tall.
I was gonna say 6'7".
Yeah.
All right, but the point that I'm trying to make. So you see how Draymond plays. Charles Barkley handled the ball back when big guys, as him being a power forward, couldn't handle the ball. Charles Barkley could shoot from the three. Charles Barkley could jump out the gym.
Yes.
Charles Barkley
Handles.
Charles Barkley out rebound Draymond. Only thing that Draymond may have over him to a slight degree, and that's because Charles Barkley had to score more, is assist.
Yeah. His
But
passing
Charles
ability.
Barkley was so much better. Charles Barkley is at least probably the 5th greatest power forward, and to me, for a lot of years, he was the number one. If I take Tim Duncan off there and put him in his proper center, as Greg Popovich has always said, Charles Barkley is probably at least the 3rd or 4th, because to me, he's better than Karl Malone. Karl Malone just stayed in shape. Karl Malone just stayed. Man, please. Karl Malone had the 3rd or 4th greatest point guard with him. That's not KJ.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
love KJ. But you listen.
Dang, do you really take it Malone over
Stockton is number one in assist and in steals.
Are you taking it?
Listen, Charles. Listen,
Karl Malone was.
But look, Karl Malone didn't.
Mailman
Karl
or
Malone,
Barkley?
He never had.
I
to
think
pull,
I was still
He didn't have to pull the weight
with Barkley.
He had the long jet. But if we're talking about,
But man, Karl Malone was unbelievable.
listen, Karl Malone. No, Charles Barkley legitimately stole MVP from Mike. That Karl Malone one was just a giveaway.
That was one of the years
Right.
they went to the finals too, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the
The first
after
one is-
that. Mind you,
They went to the finals.
Let's go down memory lane. So the first year that he's a free agent, he's not even. Well, he's kind of a free agent, but they don't know where he's going to be. He's not a Phoenix Sun yet. He goes and balls out and is the best player on the Dream Team.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Dog, and he didn't have he shouldn't
Yeah,
have
he
been
was.
playing like that. He could have got
was.
hurt.
Yeah.
He's the best player on the Dream Team with all those greats. Charles Barkley balled out, goes to Phoenix Suns and takes them to the finals in his first year.
Yeah.
And then listen, one of the rougher finals that the Bulls had. All right.
And they only won 2 games.
Him and Jordan in double overtimes, both scoring over 40 points. Listen, I get tired of the slander to players that don't have rings and the fear of these players nowadays of being that player. Draymond is a special player, but this is almost similar to Robert Horry disrespecting Charles Barkley. Shut the hell up. And I caught myself.
Did Robert Horry talked about Charles?
He shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
He should, because listen, trade Robert Horry and let him to be the best player on your team and tell me how many of those rings he
Yeah.
get.
No, listen. Charles Barkley is one of the greatest players of all
Which
time.
the Bulls almost did for Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, they did. Charles Barkley is one of the greatest
Answer
players.
the question, D.
No, I still go with Charles Barkley, but I'm just, but also at the same time though,
And Charles Barkley ain't got all that rape on him either. You don't remember the young girl,
You don't remember Kobe Bryant's wife?
I remember
that
that
story.
thing.
I'm not saying
That
no.
story.
You don't remember that when we was reading that article about how Karl Malone was like banging a shorty. We did that on a flip. Or maybe it wasn't flip. It was a shorty. It wasn't even like, it wasn't even like, and I hate to say this, it wasn't even like she was 17. It was like that girl was like 15, 16.
Wait a minute.
All right. During this time in college, this is from the Medium, Malone would father a child with a neighbor's girl in his hometown, a 13-year-old girl. This is obviously statutory rape, and most people will go to jail for it. But Malone managed to get off without any sort of criminal punishment. The reason for this was the girl's family was well aware of the millions of dollars he stood to make in the NBA. So they decided against reporting it to the police so he could play basketball and support the child. I suppose this may have been the best decision for Malone's child, but it's a travesty that such an injustice went unpunished.
Now that's
You don't
not,
remember that story?
That's not his. I don't remember that, but that's not his daughter that ended up in the WNBA though, right?
That would be really bad.
Okay, but she didn't. But she didn't have a relationship with him though, right?
No, he didn't.
And then eventually
he didn't come around till she started balling out.
Yeah,
because she went to Lafayette. She went to
Lafayette.
Yeah, she went to Lafayette.
Yeah. Now I remember that. I do remember that.
But I believe it's a young.
Same thing like Larry Bird. Larry Bird's daughter didn't really.
The problem with Malone denied his paternity. In 1986, during the second season, they were forced to take him to court, requesting he pay $200 per week. He didn't respond, but the judge ruled that he was indeed the father and ordered he pay $125 a week. Damn, $125 for an NBA player.
So how? Well, wait, hold on, wait a minute. How much did he? I mean, how much? He was in college when this happened. So how old was he? Like 20?
20, I believe. Like,
and she was like 13.
Yes.
I don't remember that. I don't remember doing that story.
Yeah, we did that story.
Wow, is the name of the title Karl Malone the Scumbag?
Listen.
What website is this on?
Yeah, Karl Malone. I told you the Medium.
Wow.
Karl Malone, the Scumbag. And look, and it was funny because I was sitting there in one of those sports groups we're in, and I was talking about, and this was like a month ago, or maybe a little bit more. I was rehashing how great Kevin Johnson was, and I was like, damn, it just hit me. And I typed it. I was like, I'm caping for a damn molester. Right? Like, hey, some people like separated. Nah, fuck that. Sorry.
I forgot about it. That's all. That's all. Off the top.
My off the
Coby
top
White
is EA is no longer the exclusive NFL rights carrier for their video games. There will be an NFL 2K coming out once again.
Yeah, I had NBA 2K on Xbox.
NFL.
I mean NFL. I'm sorry, NFL. I had that.
I guess it's probably not going to be the same as Madden. It's going to be more maybe Blitz style. They're saying it's not a simulation type game.
Ew. Nobody wants
Let
that.
me see if I can.
No,
get
them kids want to. I don't play that type of.
It's a
I don't
non-simulation.
play NFL street ball.
It's a non-simulation football game. Experiences described as fun, approachable, and social experiences.
So that's how they sold it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how they sold it to EA.
Basically.
It was like, hey, look, it's not going to be direct competition for you like that. It's going to be like the street ball, okay? Or listen,
NFL Blitz.
or that's what, or me and you just ain't gonna get along. And the EA know they need Madden. They be like, man, we need that Madden.
I mean, what are the big games that EA put out besides Madden?
They just
I
came
mean, they
back
got
with
all
live.
the major except for
I keep
baseball.
forgetting about
They
that.
just
They
came
have
back,
like,
but-
they still make NBA 2K.
No, they don't make 2K. Yeah, they still make
NBA
2K.
NBA
Yeah,
2K, right? They still make that, right?
That's the more popular.
Yeah, I haven't played a basketball game in so long.
I forgot. I got 2K. I ain't played it.
Do you?
From this year, I got 2K and Madden from this year. I still haven't played.
I played Madden. I haven't played in a long time. But I forgot all about the NBA. I used to play NBA all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Dreamcast. Ooh, in college, man.
My roommate had it. It
Yes.
died so quick, and I loved it.
Man, that game was
It
fun.
was hot to Xbox and PS2 came out.
Yeah, I know, right?
He was like, man, this Dreamcast. I was like, don't you count on that. They was like, as soon as they dropped, they was like, we quit. I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
Yeah, they
but the
did.
thing was,
It was fun,
Then
though.
you can get all those damn, like how they got those bundles now, that people would go and get somebody that would put like 1,000 games on their Dreamcast. You was
Yeah,
like,
burn it. I mean, I had my Xbox like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had modded Xbox.
Yeah.
What was it called? I mean, so are you excited about this, Brian?
No, that's not really my type of game, but I am interested to see how it develops in the future because I would think it is going to be eventually direct competition with them.
I don't think they would mess with Madden. I don't think Madden will mess with them.
Maybe not. But why not?
It's such a.
They get the rights fees either way.
Kids like that kind of game, though, right?
No, I'm saying I think that they would, and you could be right. Let me lead with that. I don't know,
But that's way down the road.
that's all I'm saying. It would have to be so far because listen, Madden is EA to a certain degree.
That's what I think. I don't even know that.
Outside of what, soccer.
I mean, they have FIFA, they have NHL.
They got what, MLB.
They got NBA Live still.
They got MLB.
Wait, MLB
No,
the show?
no.
The show isn't on the EA.
I don't.
No, I don't think EA has, unless they do RBI baseball, which I have no idea who makes that one. But that's the only other baseball game because I think the show has exclusive rights with the MLB.
Yeah, I think it just says MLB the show. It doesn't.
I
say
think that's
EA
because
anything.
EA used to have MVP Live.
Oh, you're right.
Or MVP Baseball, I mean,
get
if
what
you
you're
remember that.
You're
but
right.
they discontinued that a long time ago
So,
because of
clearly
exclusive rights.
they need it.
I'm a big simulation sports fan.
Yeah, that's why I play. I don't play the.
I'm not a
I don't
huge
listen,
Street
the
or
only thing that I
Blitz.
like was that, and even then I stopped playing it. I liked NBA Jams, but I didn't like it as much as Live
Right.
back as a kid.
Yeah,
too.
NBA Jam was just fun to play.
Like-
It was
like,
just
I was
2 on
never one of
2.
those-
Was
That
it like
fine.
NBA Streets?
Yes.
Something like
No, it
that.
was-
Like that was fun for
I
a
was
little
never
bit.
one of those
Yeah,
people that
that's
was
fine.
trying to be great on NBA Jams.
You know what? Quick story. I played in an NBA tournament, NBA Jam tournament, when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
Wow.
At Blockbuster. I won a couple of
Wow.
rounds. I won a couple of rounds at
I
the
miss
Block.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, Blockbuster. What? Woohoo! I'm just saying. Man, NBA Jam, dude. My aunt who lived.
Disrespect to that
I know, right?
accomplishment.
My aunt used to.
How many tournaments did you go to, Ken?
My aunt Joanne, my father's little sister. I forgot this guy she was dating back in the day. And he used to play NBA Jam, and I played with him, and I used to smoke him.
So he sucked.
No, I was good at it. I was pretty good at it. And he would bring his boys over. Like, man, you can't beat Joanne nephew. And he would have me come downstairs.
How old was this guy?
My auntie just made 50, and I'm 38, so she's probably like in her 20s, early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these aren't the people that grew up with Nintendo.
But no, you gotta think about it. No, that's
So them
not,
coming
no,
to play
not
video
necessarily.
games.
Not
These
necessarily.
may be Atari mugs.
No,
maybe.
no,
Dog, you just
in
said.
if they was like 20 years old and NBA Jam was out, that'd be like a 20-year-old playing a Madden right now.
But I'm saying they didn't grow up playing video games. Like that used to be the thing sometimes, playing people that didn't. Like if you grow up playing video games, you have a much better ability to understand and whoop ass in the game than someone who's trying to learn.
Well, you
that.
got it, but
And
you
different
have
systems.
but you have to look at the skill set. I'm not the skill set. You have to look at the technology at the time that they playing. That's all.
I'm just
That's all I'm
it's
saying.
probably trash.
No, I don't think
You just
no.
say he brought a whole crew over there.
I used to smoke them.
They was trash.
D, you're not going to get any credit for this.
They was trash.
Right.
Not gonna get
None. So then I went to a Blockbuster and I played a couple of rounds and I eventually lost. But
He only won 2 rounds.
no, I think I'm more than 1 or 2.
You just told us 2. Now you're changing the story.
I didn't say 2.
You said 2. Didn't he say 2 initially?
He said a couple.
He said that.
Oh,
it was a couple.
Okay, a couple too. Okay,
A couple is two.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Not
All right.
several.
You're right.
No,
Or a few.
No, it wasn't several.
said
I
a
wouldn't.
couple
I wouldn't-
Rounds would have been.
I wouldn't.
Now, if
Right.
you told me you made it to the semifinals,
No.
I would be like, you was okay. Regardless of
No.
who came through, you was the man.
No, I was there for a little bit of time. We was playing because we had to play one round.
My mom needed to pick me up after I lost.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, she did. I had to play around. I played around, beat that guy, whatever like that, and had to wait till everybody else play, and then they play whatever like that. So
They got an NHL also.
Yeah.
We said FIFA.
NHL.
okay, what?
They don't got a
What?
boxing? I don't see the boxing on
They
here.
got a boxing game?
They used to have Mike Tyson.
Them things will hurt
Mike
your
Tyson knockouts.
hands. No, I'm just saying like the regular, like the champions, like me and Kenton.
I thought
years back.
that was their thing. Oh, do they have Tiger Woods still? They got to have Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah, Tiger Woods with EA too. Yeah, they want to. They still make that.
I don't know.
I
I
believe
used to
so.
love Tiger.
They might have
Woods
stopped. They might have stopped a
think
couple
they
years
still
ago.
Oh man, I used to love Tiger Woods golf. Very fun. Very fun.
I can't do golf inside.
actually,
I want to
wait,
go
this says-
outside as soon as I start playing golf.
PJ
I feel you. I feel you.
14. I don't think they make Tiger Woods.
They probably
Yeah,
don't.
they might not.
They probably don't make Tiger Woods.
But you know, we're really out of the loop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play video games like that no more.
Yeah, when you get that this old, it's kind of like I try. I'll be like, I ain't got time for it. All right, right now coming back, we're gonna go up for grabs. Ryan B. Ski. Tony White. Dean Davis.
But I don't hate on Draymond. He's a good little player.
What's up, everybody? It's Cameron Smith from CBS 2 Chicago. You're listening to the D and Davis Show.
D and Davis Show. We are back, and it's time to go up for grabs with Ryan Bukovetsky. Ryan, what you got for us?
Well, let's start in the world of the NBA, and it was a huge weekend for the NBA with LeBron and the Lakers coming out with big statements made against Milwaukee and the Clippers.
In your view right now, is LeBron James trending towards being the MVP of the league, and are the Lakers trending towards being the NBA champion?
Well, he's moving in that direction. He made up some ground by beating Giannis and Kawhi in the same weekend. But Giannis is the MVP of the regular season, which is a ridiculous award in the first place. 50% of the teams make the playoffs, over 50% of the teams. You should wait till the end of the year. And this year in particular, there'll be no excuses. Who is the best player on the floor, especially in the fourth quarter? That will determine who's the champion among a group of teams that I think most people acknowledge is likely to be the Bucks, the Lakers, the Clippers. One time, LeBron was the best player on the floor when he's played Kawhi this season. They won that game. The other two times, Kawhi was the best player. They won those games. But in the regular season, it's probably a moot point because Giannis has simply had more value than anyone.
And LeBron's MVP odds increased from 10-1 up to 3-1 on Monday.
Really?
Has LeBron closed that gap, and now this is a neck-and-neck race? What do you guys think?
I still don't think he's going to get it.
I think it's a chance, especially if,
How much of a chance?
it's about 40.
Ooh,
60-40?
Okay. Because I think what you're seeing, they're 2.5 games back from having the best record in the league.
And Giannis is going to miss 2 games.
That's what I was about to say. And Giannis is hurt. LeBron was supposed to be kind of sit out for his groin. He's not. I think that what you're going to see, if they pass them in record, it's going to be hard.
It's gonna be close,
in the West. I mean, I think what Giannis has done with efficiency, I mean, it's the reign of Giannis. I'm sorry, LeBron.
Just the era right now.
But I can see the voters going ahead and giving it to LeBron. I think it's late in the game for Giannis to have this entire season. And basically, I think one of the team has 18, the other has 20 games left. For you to just flip like that. But I can see it happening.
I'm still going to say 70-30 Milwaukee because...
Wait, is that prior to the weekend? You thought it was 70-30?
Even with the weekend.
Okay.
I'm still going to say 70-30. I just think because, as Ken said, and we talked about it before, I think right now this is just the era. This is just the new kid on the block. This is his time. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is his time, right? LeBron James, sorry, but everything comes to an end. But
real quick, it will be the longest drought, 7 years between winning the MVP that any MVP has won.
See, I just don't think. No, I don't think the. I mean, you know what? Things can happen. But I don't know if the writers. I don't know if the writers. Yeah, listen. I'm not saying LeBron is not. He's having a great year. Yeah. And this is coming off a year he had rest because they didn't make the playoffs the year before. Mm-hmm. So he definitely has a rest to keep on going this year. But my thing is, if I'm Frank Vogel, and let's say right now, the Lakers have a 6.5 game lead over the Clippers, and the Clippers are the number 2 seed. Let's just say they've already wrapped up the division, right? They already wrapped up the division.
They're playing for LeBron to get the MVP.
That's cool, but if I'm Frank Vogel and I know I got like a set, let's say I'm going to the last 2 weeks of the season, and I got a 7 to 8 game lead over the Clippers, and they're not threatening to, challenge me for the first seed in the West. I think I might be like, all right, LeBron, you need to go ahead and just chill out for a while.
That's common sense.
Yeah, that's common sense. So I think that's probably likely to happen with LeBron James. With Giannis, they're 6.5 games up over Toronto, but Giannis is super young.
They don't have to worry go. Yeah, they don't have to worry about it with Giannis.
Yeah, but you got to shut him down in case if he goes down.
And these are the two things. The only thing,
but it's not like a super serious injury. I think Giannis is probably good enough to come back and still play. LeBron got mileage, man. He got mileage.
Be devil's advocate. You could say the Lakers could still play for home court advantage in the finals because it seems like clearly they're going to meet Milwaukee. But
True.
I think all of us don't think the Lakers need home court advantage to beat Milwaukee.
No.
I think the Lakers have too much from the Lakers are going to crowd that lane so much for Giannis is going to be ridiculous.
That's if Milwaukee.
Who matches AD? Chris Middleton.
Right.
Come on.
I agree with you. But like I said, though, that's even if Milwaukee gets out the East. Likely they are.
Yeah, likely.
Likely they are, but they might not. You don't know.
They might.
Yeah. That's not a given. They're not like the Bulls. They're not like LeBron with the heat of the Cavs. That's not that. So I think this East is a little bit more
we haven't seen
top-heavy.
it. We haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
This wasn't like they went to the finals last year.
They didn't even
we
make
haven't
it.
seen it yet. So you can't say that. I mean, they're the odds-on favorite, but to say that it's a given now, it's not true.
Right.
You still have a team. I know you're a big Miami proponent.
Yes.
But the thing about Miami, again, they've shown that they know how to play Giannis.
Yes.
Then you have what the Raptors did to Milwaukee last year, but they don't have Kawhi. I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers is going to figure it out. But a team like the Celtics may be able to take.
They're still in there, though.
Yeah, they can take. If they're
Jason
healthy,
Tatum's going off.
yeah, if they're healthy, they may be able to take them.
It's 4 teams that can come out the East. You look at the West, it's probably just 2.
Yeah, it's a legit 2.
Legit 2. Well, 2 and a maybe. That'll probably be Denver. 2 and a maybe.
Denver can't beat those.
I know. I'm just saying though. 2 and a maybe.
You think Toronto really can get there?
Yeah.
I don't know if I think they can get there.
I think so.
I don't know.
And listen,
if Giannis could shoot threes, I'd say no.
Listen, I started off at the beginning of the season saying what was the odds of both of the finals teams not making it to the playoffs. I didn't think Toronto was still going to be this good.
I'd have thought that Toronto was definitely. I said they was going to at least be the 4th seed when you.
Yeah, I know, but I said we knew Golden State. We knew Golden State was going to take a huge step back.
And I've
They're the
always
last
been
team
a
in
big
the West.
Pascal Siakam fan. I thought
You have been. You have.
So
been.
I thought Toronto was still going to be for the East an elite team. Right. I'm happy that they've exceeded that to a certain extent.
Yeah,
but going into the season, you thought Indiana was going to be better than what they were. You thought Philadelphia.
No, I didn't think.
Philadelphia was going to be what they were.
They still was going to be.
I thought maybe 7 to 8
transition with bringing in Malcolm Brogdon, who's played well, but also you just didn't know how quickly Oladipo was going to be able to return to his form. So that's why I won't say that I had. I mean, they're still like, again, we talk about Buchanan coming here. I still think they have a wonderful team as far as putting together those players the way they put together, but ain't nobody scared of them.
Yeah. I think it's starting to become a little bit 50-50, and mainly because it's a media award and it's driven by the media, and the storyline is way advantage LeBron. He's got the huge storyline advantage over Giannis.
It's a good point.
Giannis has all the numbers except for obviously assists, but he really has the numbers, that player efficiency rating that might be the best of all time. But LeBron's got all the storylines. And I wonder if, like you said, Ken, if the Lakers get the overall record in the NBA, I think the voters are they're gonna vote that over the top.
But like I said with Frank Vogel, even at the hierarchy up there and out there in LA, it felt like 6 or 7 games up with 2 weeks left. LeBron ain't playing. We playing limited minutes.
But don't you think that's the same with Giannis? I feel like that's gonna be the same for Giannis.
No,
but even with the youth, you cannot start like the first round without Giannis.
No, I agree with that. I agree. Well, no. Put it like, no. Milwaukee will play Orlando. Milwaukee can beat Orlando in the first round.
But you don't want to start off with
Memphis. Memphis might give them a little bit of a run.
Let's say even in the second round.
A little bit of a run. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think what you're saying is factual. You don't want to start your playoffs with the reigning MVP on the bench. I get that. I just think
because like you said, there's no upside.
I think you'd be fine. I understand.
They have nothing to play for other than top overall record. If they feel like that would be the advantage over the Western team if they made it to the finals, but
I don't know. I'm still giving it to Giannis, but I think both of y'all's points with the assist numbers, the overall record, and also too, it is a media war. It's very possible. I'm just saying. I think I'm still gonna go with Giannis.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Another basketball question. It's championship week in college basketball.
Bruins, one of the last 4, and you can't have a team that was on the bubble or someone come from nowhere and win their conference tournament. Then you're done. Yeah. Yep. They'll take a team out.
East
NC
Tennessee,
State, gone.
all of America is rooting for East Tennessee. If you're on the bubble, East Tennessee today is playing Wofford. Everyone's rooting for East Tennessee.
And NC State, one of the last 4 in that, according to our bracketologist, Joe Lenardi. Speaking of Virginia, if they score 52 or 54 points, you would look.
Did you get a chance to see their national championship?
I did. Look at they're big. They look good.
Very big.
Like Seth, he always looks good. Thank you, Coach.
And I was wondering, which of the conference tournaments will you have an eye on?
I'm looking for a Big Ten because Illinois is good. I'm gonna be a homer.
They're a little bit of a scary team.
Yeah.
Probably the best Illinois team. like the state of Illinois with the chance of winning?
No doubt. I think right now, I believe I saw they will be at least a 4 seed in the tournament overall. Now, then you got the Big Ten tournament. Let's just say they go out there and they had a loss recently to Ohio State, but Illinois has had a great season this year. But I'm definitely homegrown, man. I'm a homer right here. I want to see how I'm gonna definitely watch the Big Ten, see how far Illinois can go. What college basketball? You giving them
or Big Ten?
You giving them meh to the college basketball season or Big Ten?
Big Ten.
Oh.
I mean, Illinois didn't open up their doors for me. I feel like
I know that's why I'm rooting against them.
They failed. They failed the city of Chicago by not really recruiting or having
that's changing though.
Having a coach from the public league have something to do with their team as far as either being an assistant coach or something like that. Yeah, it's changing, but it hasn't changed.
I don't know. I think this new era with NBA. I mean,
they got a good coach for them.
Yeah.
Again, you hit it with the for them. So
because you can't bring in the good ones.
They have to it's one of those things where I don't have an affinity for that school because I don't trust them in Memphis. So it's cool. You know what I'm saying? If they can start to really do it, I'll be hyped. But to me, the way that they turned their back on the city of Chicago after basically like the early 90s, I don't have it. It's like, forget them. You know what I'm saying? They had a pipeline that they didn't want to use. So it's kind of like, and I hate to say this, it's kind of like how to a certain degree I felt about the Blackhawks when their fans started complaining about people becoming Blackhawks fans. And it was like, what team that needs more fans is mad about people getting on the bandwagon? I watched a lot of bad Bulls basketball before Derrick Rose got there. When people came back, I wasn't like, shoot now. You know, so like,
yeah,
it's for me, like, if you don't like us, just like, if you don't like me, the older I get, the more it's like, I'm not going to try to prove to you why you should like me. So I know this doesn't necessarily hit with the topic, but I mean, I'm definitely interested in seeing what Kansas does.
Kansas looking real nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number one team in the country.
I'm definitely looking at seeing what they do. I'm looking at seeing like what Dayton does with Obi Toppin. You know what I'm saying?
They're about a number 2 seed.
This seems like
projected as actually Dayton is projected as 1 seed.
Yeah. This seems like one of those sneaky Coach K teams when they don't have
ACC is a lot of fun to watch.
When they don't have the number 1 draft pick, kind of going back to how we were talking about the Jabari year.
Watch out for Louisville, by the way.
And then when they got Okafor and Tyrus Jones, they actually won it or whatever. When they don't have the number 1 player or whatever. So, like you said, we've been hearing about Louisville all season long.
Yeah.
I think they're projected 2 seed
to look out for Louisville. So, like, I'm more interested in that. I mean, it'll be, again, if it catches me, it catches me. And I'll end it with this: local basketball has sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't a good year. So Paul started off high,
jumped out high, and I mean, it's better for Loyola since they're a small school and they're not known to necessarily bring in players, so that's cool. But like in a city that's a basketball hotbed like Chicago, like it just our college teams from Champaign up, they remind me of our pro teams when it comes to just how they are mismanaged. You know, like, you have a pipeline, and for years they haven't been able to take advantage of it. All you got to do is pay them, right? I mean, this is not what we're doing nowadays.
For real.
Like, all you got to do is have a bag, make it seem like it's going to work, bring in a coach that they
all the pros are coming out of Chicago.
Like, don't we kind of know, have a coach that they like, have the money to get them to come to the school, have the fringe benefits to help their parents. It's not this difficult to get it done, but they don't want to do it. So for me, bump them.
I'm with you. I like that. By the way, projected by Joe Lunardi of ESPN, Illinois is a 7 seed in the East, and Louisville is a 4 seed.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Oh, I thought that'd be, maybe a bump up if they actually win the tournament. I don't know.
Potentially.
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah.
What I'm looking forward is actually the Big East a little bit. I've fallen in love with a team for college basketball.
Oh, what was that?
I think they're a little bit of a dark horse. I don't know. I got to double check their standings here. But Villanova. I am falling in love with Villanova here.
You should.
They got Jay Wright, coach of the decade this past decade.
Easy.
Yeah.
And I was watching their game against Seton Hall and it was Seton Hall hosting, and it was senior night, and their best player is a senior. Really big emotional. Seton Hall projected to be a number 2 seed. They're having a obviously great year. And I think the key that was constantly talked about in that game by the analysts were if Villanova hits over 10 threes, they're almost like unbeatable. And then you just see them hitting the 3 after 3. And they look a lot like those past Villanova teams. Don't have quite the leader that I see at that point guard position that they've had. But maybe they are still in a work in progress. But otherwise, they're positionless basketball, and all 5 guys can hit the 3.
There you go.
I think they're a team to watch out for. They're playing really well, and I like where Jay Wright has them. And it's all about coaching and guards when you get to tournament.
It is. Right? It is. It definitely is. Definitely is.
My last up for grab questions. We'll move over to the gridiron. A little bit of rumor mill.
Let me say this to you. I understand that kind of thinking, and under normal circumstances, I would be right with you. But right now, I'm about the Titans. And first of all, they had Ryan Tannehill looking like a star quarterback. I mean, talk about miracles. Damn. I mean, this dude comes up, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, who we forgot was a quarterback in the National Football League because he refused to show us for the first 5-6 years of his career. This brother shows up in Tennessee. I guess inspired by them not having any state income tax and saying he wanted to stay there, okay? This brother shows up and completes 70% of his passes.
Killed it.
22 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. He was balling. But I got news for you. Derrick Henry certainly helped. That monster that he is coming out of the backfield, got an offensive line that can protect and run block as well. We can't ignore that. You got a guy in A.J. Brown that's a rookie 1,000-yard receiver. Corey Davis is no scrub, neither is Sharp. I'm looking at that along with Tennessee's defense, along with the relationship that I believe Tom Brady could have and would have with Coach Vrabel, who would clearly appreciate him more openly than Bill Belichick ever would.
Tom Brady opened his new production company, 199 Productions, which was, of course, his draft number. He was selected 199.
Oh, that's right.
Which his platform or his production
he can't
company.
let that go, can he?
He's not.
Hey, Jordan couldn't let it go.
Damn.
At the Hall of Fame speech.
Oh man, I hope Brady has like a Jordan-esque.
Oh, you know it.
Don't you ever compare him to Michael Jordan?
Okay, all right. The production company is being described as a global multi-platform content company that will develop original premium content, including documentaries, feature films, and television shows. So, of course, that's led to the big rumor that Tom Brady will be in the LA area. Do you guys think that he will be playing in the LA area, or and also, what do you think his best situation is?
For me, I think it would be to stay with the Patriots, because if they get a player on the outside now, there are not that many players available. When you look at the fact that AJ Green is going to get probably franchise tagged, I think Emmanuel Sanders is a player that most people have said is the only guy that we know of that's out there, but still you can make a trade for somebody that's a guy that can take off the top to try to help some of that stuff that they brought in, the Mecole Hardens and guys like that kind of play more under the bottom or whatever. You got the greatest coach. So I think that, of course, is number one. But with what you just said, my thought always is he doesn't want to be there. He wants the LeBron change. As far as, it's cool. Like LeBron is chance LeBron can win the title this year, right?
Right.
So I'm not saying that Brady's abandoning winning titles, but I think he's looking at, let me start off the second phase of my life and start to get this going. And also, let me take a little bit of the shine from the fact that I'm still in the league and help me grow with this industry right here. So I think he definitely is interested in leaving. I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion that he's not going to be a Patriot, but then to the teams, if he was going to leave, I think Tennessee with Vrabel is showing that he may be a special coach.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
He's look good.
He has a running back that's going to take the load off of him now. Brady isn't necessarily a play action guy, but he can be, not to say he can't do it, but he wants to do more than just that. You know, he's not. But when you get older, let's go back to John Elway with Terrell Davis, where that was more of, Elway wasn't the guy that's slicing up a team and using his athleticism at that point. And and also it takes a lot of the wear and tear from you getting hit and having to move in the pocket. You got out of the teams that he may go to, this one has the best offensive line.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Like that clearly. And then
talk about protection.
You have AJ Brown.
Yeah.
who shockingly this morning on ESPN though was like, yeah, I don't know the situation, but I'd be happy to play with Brady. And I was like, damn son, you a rookie, because you should have been way more that's sweet. You should have been way more diplomatic in saying like, listen, Tannehill's our guy. Now, if you telling me they gonna do this, they gonna bring in Brady, I got to do it. I love Brady.
Yeah, right.
But he didn't.
He's a young player, Ken.
I know,
He's
but
learning.
he got to know to hit it with one of those. Because if I was running Tannehill, I'd be like,
I think his agent called, like, buddy.
Yeah, slow down there, kid.
yeah, like kid, I was the one hitting you last year, right? So that's kind of
No
how
one
I
even
feel.
knew AJ Brown till me.
The Raiders still have talent-wise a above average offensive line. But they don't have.
They got a couple first-round picks coming.
They got the.
They do.
They got the what? They got one. They got the tight end.
2 tight ends.
Okay, they
Darren
got,
Waller and I forgot the other guy.
Okay,
but he's pretty solid.
Did they have a receiver that kind of popped this year?
I don't think. I think they had a couple guys contributing.
Yeah, contributed more.
The core doesn't look as bad when Antonio Brown left.
What you're just saying though,
they went 7-9 for the season, right?
But you're saying that Brady has to sit there. Yes, you have to say Brady has to sit there and play with a bunch of youngsters though.
Probably.
Hey, yeah, possibly. I mean,
but like rookie wide receivers usually are hit or miss. Not to say for the majority of their career, but how many receivers really hit in that rookie season? So when you're dependent on them, now they got Josh Jackson. Is it Josh Jackson, the running back from Alabama?
Yes.
Yeah.
They got Josh Jackson.
Or I'm sorry, Josh Jacobs.
Thank you, Josh Jacobs. They have Josh Jacobs there, but still, I mean, to me, talent wise, then my last one, you got Los Angeles Chargers. But the problem with them, and you were talking about this before D came back downstairs. Listen, Phillip Rivers may not have been good, but Phillip Rivers was under duress last year. Their receiving core is sweet. Melvin Gordon is going to be a free agent. They just re-upped Austin Eckler, and who's
a really nice back for Tom Brady.
Yeah, who's really nice.
He can catch and he can run.
Fits the white mold and those little scat backs that he's had in the past. So I would say
a home run playmaker.
But again, if he's not going to be there, I'm going to go with the Titans and I didn't say this one, but I'm going to cut mine short, the Titans or Tampa Bay.
Ooh, Tampa. Okay.
Yeah, because they got the.
I like the Tampa. I like the Tampa thing.
But Bruce Arians, man, wants a lot out of his QB.
That's true.
I don't think Brady be able to do that right now. I'm still going to go with the Raiders as my number one team for them to go to, and then it'll be the Patriots number 2. I think it does mean something for a lot of players to be able to play with only one team throughout their career, and have and to have Tom Brady always be a New England Patriot would be something special. Although all the greats, said they always don't finish on the same teams they started with,
especially in football.
Yeah, especially in football. John Unitas ended up playing for the Chargers, didn't he? Yeah, Chargers, right?
Joe Montana
ended up being with the KC Chiefs. So Joe Namath, yeah. So that's definitely something that does happen. But I just think with the Raiders, like I said, I've been saying this for a while. I think it's like a perfect fit for the NFL as well. You have the team just moved out to a new city with a new stadium. You have Gruden, who you definitely would be like all in for Tom Brady, whatever Tom Brady wants to do to rejuvenate that fan base, and also too, as Ryan said, with the production company coming out. Vegas is only a 4-hour, not even 4-hour flight. Is it a 4-hour flight? Not even a 4-hour
No, it's
flight.
a 4-hour drive.
4-hour drive. So it's probably like an hour and a half.
It's like 3
flight.
hours?
No,
3, 4 hours?
I don't think I drove from Vegas to LA.
If it's a 4-hour drive, it's
maybe
like
4.5 or something like that.
It's like between
so that means it might be what? For
so
a flight,
like an
hour and a half.
Yeah.
Especially flying private
With
Giselle's plane?
Wait. It may be quicker than that because we talked about this. From here to Atlanta is what? Driving.
I thought we said 16.
16 hours.
No, it's like 12.
It's 12? It's 12. It's about 12. It's 12. It's 12.
Okay. So
it's 12.
That's 12. That's an hour and a half flight about.
Yeah, probably.
You spend more time on the damn
Florida's
tarmac.
about 2.
So Vegas to LA is like
it's like that.
Yeah.
It's gotta be an hour max.
So he was able to get to LA if he do want to start the production.
He's flying private.
Let's not forget California he was living in New York part of the season too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So he used to travel. Yeah. But I mean, like I said though, I mean, I'm sure New England, since always gonna have a special place in his heart. Robert Kraft definitely wants him. He said he feels like he's his son.
Yeah, let it go.
But
let it go. Get that. You kept Belichick there and all that Belichickiness for a reason, and we keep seeing we don't never see no reports that he's gonna choose Brady over Belichick because he knows Belichick can help him a lot longer. So let Belichick do Belichick.
Yeah.
Like, ain't no reason they had no genius like that. And you got 6 championships out of Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's fine. And
Let it go.
And Belichick wanted to move on from a little while ago, a couple of years ago.
Let it go. And you changed.
That's what I want to ask you.
Yeah.
What about the 49ers rumors?
I don't believe that. And it would be stupid if 49ers did.
Oh my gosh, I feel the exact opposite.
That really? Why in the world would they want to flip? Why would they want
What
to
are you
flip
looking
a
at
young,
me like that for?
Why would they want to flip a young
Yes, I've
quarterback
defended Jimmy Garoppolo,
for?
but you think I love him. That is not true.
Clearly.
Wait a minute, you would move Jimmy for Tom Brady.
I think Tom Brady's a better quarterback.
Yes, he is a better quarterback.
But now in their careers?
Yes.
I mean, you only have maybe a year or two with Tom.
Well, Jimmy had, what, the 3rd highest QB rating in the league this season?
I wouldn't do that at all.
I don't know.
How does Jimmy Garoppolo, like 25?
I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a solid starter. He's maybe even good.
But what's the thing, though? But look at the coaching that he has with
maybe
him.
even good.
Liar! Look at the... But
You liar! You defended him
I think
so
he's better than Colin Kaepernick. That's what I was always saying.
That wasn't the argument. It was Ryan Tannehill.
I think he's better than Ryan Tannehill.
Not this past season.
Well, I think he is. I'm saying
I wouldn't do that. I'm not about to fight you on any of those, but I wouldn't move Jimmy Garoppolo.
How great
to
would
Tom
that
Brady.
be, though? Come on.
It would be cool.
Hey, Bill, we're going to trade you back Jimmy, and we're going to take Tom.
Tom,
you know what? This is the.
That'd be great. That'd be a great storyline.
Oh my God,
I feel more like. Actually, I feel more that Titans should hold on to Tannehill more than they should hold on to Jimmy G. Because at least Jimmy G now has had what? He played into the Super Bowl. Yeah. So he didn't get a bye game. So he had what, about 15 games this season? No, I'm sorry, more than that. He played 16. He played 3 more. Yeah. He played 3 more.
Yeah,
so he had 18. Then you throw
19.
19. Then you throw. So he had 24 games in his since he's been with San Francisco. And
No, it's more than that.
He only played 5 before he got.
The year before.
The year he first got there, he played 5. Remember, he got hurt in the preseason last season.
No, it wasn't preseason. It was week 4.
It was the first. No, it was like week 1. I thought.
No, it was like week 3 or 4.
Okay, we got hurt.
So he started 5 games the first year, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
He had 6 games total, but I'm just looking at starts. Then he had 3 starts in 2018, and then 16, and then plus the 3 playoffs.
So you're probably right. There was the 4th game. So anyway, the point being that with the sample size from Jimmy G and what happened last year, like he played well for almost 3 quarters, but then it was like put it on him. And I don't know if he can overcome being like that.
It's gonna be tough.
But this is the issue. This is the issue.
Game manager.
But this is the issue with Tom Brady. He's at the end of his career. So let's just say if they go up against Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes put it on him. I don't know if Tom Brady's gonna be able to do too much to catch up to Patrick Mahomes either.
With San Fran?
Wait. He can do better than what Jimmy.
I'm not saying
you can lean on him and not pull the game away from him.
Okay, you're just saying not to strip it completely away. But what I'm trying to say is with Tom Brady, it's going to be hard for him to catch up to supreme talent like a Patrick Mahomes too.
It's going to be hard for anybody to do that.
So why change it? So why change
Tom Brady to you right now?
Who would you rather have for the next 2 years? Jimmy G or Tom Brady if you're a San Fran? I don't even think it's a question.
I don't either.
The only thing I'm thinking about is just the youth.
But the thing
you're going to have to restart. You're going to have to find the next guy.
So y'all ready to move on from Jimmy G as his contract is up?
Whoa, this is the key. Let me just jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
This is the premium key. Can I put on my GM hat?
No, go ahead.
Ooh, that's looking nice, sir.
I'm thinking about.
I appreciate it.
I'm thinking about youth.
This is the thing.
What's your rebuttal?
This is like the best thing that could ever happen to Sean McVay. Like, you gave Jimmy G a contract.
Wait, Kyle Shanahan?
I know. I mean Sean McVay with the Jared Goff situation, but it'll never happen because remember, Sean McVay is caught in the ish now.
Yeah,
because it's like, but this is the thing. In a way, he's a genius, but Kyle Shanahan's slightly caught in the ish too.
Yeah,
because you can't just let Shorty go out there and do him. So this is my thing.
Well, don't you want to build him up? Don't you want to coach him?
I think he will get slightly better than this, but I think
you think he's plateaued.
Yeah, I think he's capped.
You think he's capped?
I don't think he's special. Let me put it like that. I think he can be okay. I think he can be good and some years really good. All right, but I think he's capped. And this is what I'm about to say.
He can win a Super Bowl with very good.
No, he couldn't win the Super Bowl.
I say we're very better than what he is right now.
But you can have a guy that's considered the GOAT who, passing wise, you don't have to pull the game out of his hands, and you have one of the elite play callers and minds in football, and that guy, I wouldn't mind him going out and picking out a young second, third rounder to be behind him and raising him, because it goes. He's not Belichick. He's not Belichick. But this is the thing: when you got a great coach, you got to use that, man.
Boom.
Other quick thing.
It's over.
D to what you said. If you're a coach, wouldn't you rather try to get the ring right away so you get that longevity? Because you can coach up Jimmy G. You can try to make him better. But if you don't get that ring, you're in danger.
Listen, I don't think...
Because you may never get it.
Right. If you get a Super Bowl next year, Kyle Shanahan's there for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't...
Ain't any question.
Listen, personally to me, I don't think just moving him to San Fran. This is... If you put Tom Brady on San Fran this year, do you still think they're going to beat KC? No.
Yeah,
they might have.
They would have beat him that game.
They might have.
They would have beat him that game.
Think so?
Yeah.
They would have, dog. You know the amount of points.
Dude, KC put up like 30-some points in the one quarter.
Think about what Tom Brady would have put up in the first 3 quarters.
And whoa. Remember the game. The defense was slipping. Patrick Mahomes was coming back. There was that miss to George Kittle over the middle that he didn't hit him. He didn't look the right way.
Then he overthrew Sanders.
It wasn't like Tom Brady was like elite this year.
But he didn't have any weapons.
That's true.
Who would you rather have for a couple throws?
Give him Kittle and Sanders.
Two drives in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
That's the thing.
You want Jimmy G or Tom Brady?
Oh, I'm taking Tom Brady.
That's what we're saying.
I don't know. I'm thinking about
Listen, Ryan.
No.
Ryan, Jimmy G.
Listen,
Ryan is getting up under this getting out of the Jimmy G stuff real quick. He was ready to pummel me over.
I'm a Jimmy G realist.
I am not saying.
I was that.
I am not saying Jimmy G is the end all be all. I am not trying to say that by
his porn girl is not going with somebody else.
That's fine. That's fine with the porn girl. I'm not saying he's an end all be all. I'm not. But one thing I would be worried if I was a GM or owner. Let me put my owner hat on. Okay,
ooh, that looks good too, sir.
Thank you, baby. So,
I hate when the black man breaks somebody down.
Facts.
But my only thing is, do I want to get that chip? I do want to get that chip. I also want to have some longevity.
Can I put my owner hat on?
I want to have.
Can you take off my GM hat?
There you are. Hold on. Let me keep going. I am thinking about longevity as well.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I don't ever think that Jimmy Garoppolo is ever going to hit the plateau, even at the level of a Tom Brady. I'm not saying that, but I do believe in Kyle Shanahan, and I do believe in the weapons he have around him, and I do believe in his coaching. I think he'll be able to get him up so we can have a run.
Case in point, real quick.
I could probably have a longer run with Jimmy G than a longer run with Tom Brady.
The question is
that's what I'm thinking.
Wait.
That's what I'm thinking.
But it's the run versus the short term.
The question is what you define as a run.
The bear versus the bull. What do you want to do?
Because a run could be we could be good, but not a team that's elite due to our QB. Now, as with Davis with his owner hat, I'm not going to be a York. I'm going to go back and be a DeBartolo, not his sister's side of the family. Shout out to Eddie. Listen, if I can get out of that contract, I'm gonna get out of that contract.
That's assuming that someone is going to trade him.
But what the premise that Ryan said,
send him back to New England.
Is the sign and trade with Tom Brady and sending Jimmy G back to New England. If I can get out of that contract, right? Because take money-wise, a quarterback's going to usually get paid at least as much or above the past quarterback that just signed.
Usually.
But Jimmy G is not a $100 million quarterback. So if I'm in a
that's just the price for a starting quarterback.
But think about it.
So don't put that against him.
No. Armstead probably is going to leave because they got guys that has to get signed. Right? And what the hell's going to happen when Kittle has to get signed in 2 seasons? The thing that I'm trying to say is you can use Tom Brady, accentuate the players that you have, and then come back with a rookie scale guy and pay the guys that are on your team.
I want to throw in another little point to this. Who's the best player on the 49ers right now?
Kittle.
Bosa.
Nick Bosa. He finished his
Bosa?
rookie year. He's got 4 more years under control. You could line up Tom Brady's contract with Nick Bosa.
Bosa's sweet.
Because Bosa's getting a big payday pretty soon.
Bosa's sweet, but even to a certain
You want to sign Tom Brady to a 4-year contract?
No. But if you have for 2 with a 3-year, say, a 3-year deal, that's basically in line that when that money comes off, you can give all that money to Nick Bosa.
And then you can have a rookie.
Right.
And still keep the defenders on that team.
Right.
And
extend your run.
A 6-year run. Dog, Jimmy G is gonna be an albatross contractually to that team with the talent that they've drafted.
It's fine if he continues to develop and get better, which to D's point, I think Jimmy can get somewhat better.
I believe in Kyle Shanahan.
Great, though,
I believe in Kyle Shanahan as a great coach. I believe in Kyle Shanahan.
I do too, but see, the problem with that is I believe he's a great coach, and he showed it when he had to pull Jimmy G back. And it was like,
but now you have the whole entire offseason. You just got there.
I do want to see one more year from Jimmy. Give me one more full year.
Shotty ain't got that.
But I'm kind of with.
He don't have. Listen,
I think he's a good quarterback. He's not a great one.
The best case scenario. He is a good Group 2 quarterback.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Matt Ryan.
But with a great
that would be his.
But with a great
I don't know if
ceiling.
he could be Matt Ryan.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. His best
and again,
is probably Matt
Ryan. Will mess up, but when we're talking about passing game, like they depend on Matt Ryan to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But he's Group 2, right?
Yeah,
Matt
he's
Ryan?
Group 2, but he's Group 2 and he accentuates what a quarterback can do. That's not Jimmy
He can
G.
flirt with
as
Group
far as
1.
doing his job. A quarterback's job is to throw the damn ball.
Yeah.
That's not something that you just want Jimmy G to go out there and do.
Right. I'm with you on that. I think he could. To me, I see a special defense. I know I'm going to have to pay a lot of these guys. Get Tom Brady, and then you can always extend your run.
And you don't want to be that team that go out there and sign the GOAT, and that year he just fall off the table. That's a risk. That's a risk.
That's a risk.
That's a risk.
But the other risk is Jimmy G's your quarterback, and you were good enough to beat Mahomes. And what if he's there again?
Who is?
But what if he's there again?
What
if he's there again?
Listen, this was Mahomes' worst game.
It was.
What if he's there?
The opportunity was there, and he wasn't the quarterback to capitalize on the opportunity.
What if the
Chiefs
Chiefs
why
are
are we going
there
to sit
again?
there and keep thinking? Yeah, and the Chiefs aren't going to be there every season.
No, but but
what if they're there again?
But they are the juggernaut of the AFC right now. They are the juggernaut of the AFC.
Do you trust Jimmy G to beat Mahomes if they rematch next year?
No. And listen, on top of that, let me put it like this: what happens? When
I think anybody's going to beat KC.
But what
anyway.
happened when Mahomes has a good game in the Super Bowl?
Oh, you
rather
no
have
shot.
Jimmy G there? Or you rather have Tom Brady?
See,
if Tom Brady was on that team, I think people would.
You know they got a bye last year, right?
Listen.
You know they got a bye.
I know they did.
They had 13 wins last season.
Listen, I am risk averse to having that dude. That's the GOAT on my team coming in thinking like, oh snap, we about to win the chip, and he come out and it's like, oh snap, this dude is done.
Man, he eating so much kale.
If Belichick wanted to move away, now granted they got a Super Bowl that year. But Belichick is ready to move away from him. That should tell you something.
He loved Jimmy G.
That's wanting to tell you something.
Also ego.
And he loved Jimmy G.
That's also ego.
Well, he wants him now.
He was ready to prove. Because think about it, he's the greatest coach ever, but the question is, well, you can't do it without Brady. And we all know he can. Like, I think most football people...
They won like 11, 12 games with Matt Castle.
11.
11-5, yeah.
But the AFC was so good that they didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
And they had...
I think they got 10.
They had Randy Moss.
No, yeah, 11. They got 11.
And they had Randy Moss on that team. You take Randy
Was Randy on that team? No.
Yes, was he? That was the year after Brady threw all those records, broke all those records. Randy Moss was on that team. He was like, but Randy Moss was a Patriot for 2.5 seasons because they traded him during the season. Brady came back because
that was the year after the Super Bowl.
That was a year after the Super Bowl, I believe. Here, if Matt Castle can do it, anyone can do it. Just sit behind the protection of the superb offensive line and toss the ball up to Randy Moss.
So what year was this?
This was 2009 when this person.
And they went to the Super Bowl in 2008?
Yeah, that's when they lost to the
Giants?
In 2008.
Damn, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was 2008 when they did that one. Because that was the first year. They did it twice. That was the first.
That's the first one. Right.
So that was the second.
So he wasn't on was Moss on the second one?
No.
He was gone. He was in Tennessee.
He only was there 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Because then he got traded to Minnesota.
No, I think he went to Tennessee.
He ended up with Minnesota when Favre was there.
I think you're right, Ken.
Yeah,
he was in Minnesota then Tennessee?
He went to both of them. I feel like I want to say he got traded twice.
That same year, something like that, right?
He quit.
Yeah, I know.
He quit.
Tennessee might have been his last stop.
Let me see. I'm gonna just see real quick.
Damn, I forgot he was up there with Favre.
He went to Minnie, then Tennessee, then San Francisco.
He went to, you say that one more time?
In 2010, he went to Minnesota and Tennessee.
The same year, right?
Yep. Because I said he got traded twice.
Yeah.
And then in 2012, he finished his career. He came out of retirement, remember?
Oh, that's
retirement
right.
to San Francisco.
That's right.
And that was the year San Francisco went to the Super Bowl, wasn't it?
So wait a minute. With Cap?
I feel like that was the year.
I thought that was 2013.
So what year was he in Oakland?
He was in Oakland from
07?
05.
No, that was the year.
06.
That was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
I know my shit, baby. That's why I'm here.
All right.
Damn, respect me. Put some respect on my damn name.
I'm not thinking about Randy Moss and not playing, so you got that one. I completely forgot
It's
about
part
that.
of our
He didn't play. He didn't play though. Did he play?
Oh no, he had a couple in he did a couple in what's the name?
San Francisco Kaepernick?
Yeah, he had a couple. I think.
Okay.
Let me see real quick how many touchdowns he had. He had 3 touchdowns that year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he had a couple.
All right, that was off the top. Come on back, finish the show. Dean Davis.
What's up, Chicago? This is Chris Sosa from Red Eye, and you're listening to the Dean Davis Show.
Dean Davis, last segment.
Last.
Listen, I want to lead this off with the Flip the Switch challenge.
I just flipped the switch. Flip.
The song by Drake and Future that is starting to go viral the last few weeks.
Future's on that song?
Yeah, that's not Future.
Future's not on that song.
You're right.
Yeah, he's not on the song.
I meant
we only pay you for sports commentary.
I know, right?
But anyway, this is the thing. So when I
get the name of the song, go ahead.
It's Flip the Switch.
No, it's not the name.
That's not the name. Non-stop.
All right. So anyway, I see it, and for the most part, I'm like, I saw like one girl had her little brother in the dress. I'm like, that's a bit much.
So is that the initial one? I would love I want to see the very first one.
I don't know. That wasn't the initial one.
Okay.
But so it's funny because like I think most of us follow like Kev on Stage, the comedian, and he did one with his wife. And he flipped the switch and he turned back on. He was like, I'm a man. I pay the bills. And so,
I ain't put on no dress.
It's funny. I saw Stephen A. Smith, I think it was this morning. And there's only one that I saw where I was like, yeah, I probably have to do that one. And it's the J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And she was moving on there to be 50.
J-Lo.
Dude, she was moving on
J-Lo,
there.
baby.
And I was like, yeah, probably. She wanted me to do that. And I saw Stephen A. Smith. He, just like you said, yeah. He was like, yeah, I have to do it.
Yeah, man, J-Lo.
If J-Lo was like, dude, like flip the switch, I'd be like, all right, dude.
Man, A-Rod doing anything that lady say. And he better.
As he should. Well, I mean, he still is A-Rod. You don't give him his respect.
Listen.
She don't keep him around just for nothing.
A-Rod ain't Derek Jeter.
He still got...
A-Rod is A-Rod, though, but he ain't no Derek Jeter.
Should A-Rod have been mad that J-Lo's dancing to a Drake song?
Oh, good. No, you know that's the best thing about A-Rod now. It's kind of like I don't care.
He don't care. He living his life.
It's like I don't care.
He living his life.
I used to be a dick, but I don't care.
But no, but you know what? But the thing was, he wasn't being his authentic self, and I'm not saying he totally is now. But part of the reason was he cared so much about what people thought.
Yeah,
and now he's kind of past that to a certain degree. That it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Listen, on top of that, she loved me. Cause on a side note, I thought about Jose Canseco coming out talking about A-Rod cheated on her and all that.
Yeah,
how, like, damn, what type of snitch are you?
Oh, he a big snitch.
I know, but it's just like,
and he snitched on everybody in baseball.
But
too?
I mean, snitching on roids and then years later snitching on this man and his relationship is two totally different things.
He snitched on roids for profit, though, not to help the game of baseball.
I didn't say he did.
Yeah,
but still, it helped. It's
not a Mike Fiers situation.
That's opening up a can of worms.
but I mean,
because Mike Fiers still benefited from it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't, and again, Canseco did too. But at least with Canseco, like when Canseco was a White Sox player, like Frank Thomas was injured that year, we knew he was dirty.
Yeah, everybody knew he was dirty.
But listen, but with the Fiers and that team at that time, we didn't know they were dirty. Like it's different watching something like, yeah, I know we can't trust them.
Right.
So that's my only caveat.
But no, but also too with A-Rod, man, it's kind of like, yeah, listen, I have J-Lo. That's my old lady.
And he's
married.
The prince of baseball
They're
now.
married.
No, they ain't got married yet.
I thought they got married on the beach.
I don't think he proposed on the beach.
I
don't think they hitched yet.
I think they hitched.
They jumped the broom.
I think so.
It doesn't matter. He got J-Lo.
And he's the prince of baseball. Who else is going on both networks?
Basically.
He does Fox and ESPN.
He's
can't believe it. And he's the main guy on both, not just
he is.
Just some guy. He's the main analyst.
I remember
on
he
both.
first was on there. It's kind of like, oh, A-Rod, yeah, well, he is the main dude.
If John Smoltz leaves that spot, they're going to do everything they can to put A-Rod there.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. You don't think?
Yeah, I think you're right, D. I think they're still engaged.
Yeah, I think they haven't got his just yet. But man, you got Jennifer Lopez on your arm. You're making all the money.
How much money did he make? Gajillions?
Man, he's living a good life right now. Keep the run going. That's a good one. Also too, with the flip switch, you had Elizabeth Warren was on Saturday Night Live. Her and what is her name? I don't know why I'm blanking right now.
McKinnon.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon. Yeah.
Starts with an M.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a funny one. Also too, you starting to see a local Windy City Live. They did one. The Jam, they did one. You know, like I said, you're starting to see them pop up every once in a while. But that's a cool little flip thing. Is it a TikTok thing?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't have TikTok.
By the way, A-Rod worth $350 million.
He's worth
that's his net worth.
Think about those two deals from the
That's
Yankees.
what I'm saying. He's living life.
Yeah, I wouldn't give.
Those Ranger checks were in Texas.
They sure were. No state income.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to pay for those.
And he living in Florida too. They both living in Florida. They both making a really good life. They both doing very well. Kids are getting older. They're gonna be able to just like enjoy that because J-Lo is 50 or 50. She's 50,
Yeah,
right?
she's
She just made 50. A-Rod is like what, 44, 45 or something like that.
Wow, she's a cougar.
Yeah, she's younger. He's younger. Yeah,
He's 44.
44 years old.
Wow,
So,
J-Lo.
yeah. Oh my God, man.
Damn.
Ain't no dude turning that down. You got a chance. Come on, man.
I don't
Jennifer
even want to
Lopez.
say what I want to say.
There's some lust in that heart.
Jennifer Lopez.
She busting that.
Jennifer Lopez.
She busting that move out in the bedroom.
Jennifer Lopez.
She can have what she want.
Yes.
I just
They're
do the
fine.
switch.
All right.
Do you think she takes off like a mask at night?
No. I mean, you definitely got the makeup, saying age a little bit, but she's nice still. She's a beautiful woman. All right, real quick. For me, with baseball, Michael Kopech was out there wheeling and dealing. 1 inning for the White Sox. Through 11 pitches, got a strikeout. The good thing, two good things was happened with that, in at least my opinion. One, consistently hitting over 100. I'm guessing he's gonna come in, Ken, with a changeup, a curve, and a fastball. Don't know anything about a slider or a splitter.
Well, he's gonna get a cutter.
If he gets a cutter,
he's gonna get a cutter.
Yeah,
Don Cooper teaches the cutter.
Exactly, it's gonna be over. But he was consistently hitting over that 100. And also too, that deep.
Said he was out of control at first.
But that's what I was about to say. He got under control and he was just hitting.
That's gonna be the real thing.
If he can keep it under
now
control.
You see the velocity is there.
Yeah.
Also remember, it's really to see like this 11 pitches or something. Tell me when he goes 3 to 4 innings how he
Of course.
Like the worst thing you want to see is him do a few innings and then talk about tightness and soreness.
Right.
That's going to be the alarm.
But you're going to get
because
that,
velo shouldn't
you're going
really
to get that to start off though.
Velo shouldn't really be impacted by the Tommy John. If anything, your arm might get stronger.
Yeah, true. But you still like to see it,
right? No, but
especially with someone over the 100.
Does he consistently get hurt? Is this a chronic thing, how some guys have, or is it just hey, everybody goes through it? You're coming back.
I'm just waiting to see, like you said before, if Don Cooper could teach them to get that cutter and get that down pat.
I want to see what Coop does with his staff.
God.
He's got a lot of talent and a lot of youth.
A lot of talent. Seven deep at least.
Well, Kopech's not going to come up initially.
No,
but
not
still,
initially.
When this thing's rolling,
but by midway through the summer, he'll be up.
Oh, for sure.
He'll be up.
Because how old is Giolito?
Ronaldo Lopez is 25. Lucas Giolito is 24. Cease is 23. Kobe's 27.
But Dylan's not part of the future, right?
Dylan Cease?
Cease?
No, Kobe.
Oh no, he's not.
So you're gonna basically replace.
Don't go first name with Dylan Kobe?
Yeah, you threw me off right there.
Like, damn, son. He said Dylan. We only know Dylan Cease.
Oh my gosh! But the point is, basically, Cooper's gonna have a rotation of about 25 and under,
and they're gonna lock up Giolito.
Right. So it's gonna be basically like when they're all 26, 27, they're all gonna be together, and that's gonna be your staff for hopefully 6 years, 7 years.
Those Cubans and that already got money from when they jumped off the island, and to get them to sign and lock in those 2 extra years, you can get these pitches. Those pitchers be like, man, give me that money. I don't care. I don't care
how did they
what type of give me that money. I don't care what laissez-faire life that Lucas Giolito grew up in with his matinee mama. You gonna want to sit there and get paid when you can get paid. Plus, you know that arm can go at any moment.
Even if one guy is like, "Hey, I want to be paid big time,"
yeah, we'll trade him.
I mean, you got 4 guys.
We trade his ass. Yeah, any minute. Let him know.
You trading away Kopech already? Jeez.
Yeah, before that arm blowout, shout out to my man Chris Sale, man. I'm happy you got that money before it all went boom.
Poor Chrissy.
No. Is he gonna be out for the not for the season, but he's
he's
hurt
still doing
right
like
now.
tests.
It wasn't Tommy John or
yeah.
Okay. Like it was what came back. It seems like it's not.
The belief is he can rest it,
but still we know it's a wrap. Because he went over there trying to do way too much.
So that when I read the ages was 2019 season, so it's 2020, so they might be a year older than.
That's what usually happens a year later.
Yeah, I know. Just want to let you know.
Funny about that.
You get old.
Funny about life.
You get 1 year older every year.
To switch. Yeah, so we got a little article from The Athletic where Adam Johns and Kevin Fishbane basically gave their Bears breakdown of the upcoming NFL draft, which takes place next month.
I also have some league-wide analysts too, with some of their picks after you go.
Oh, nice.
So, like I said, we have Kevin Fishbane and Adam Johns from The Athletic Chicago gave their breakdown of the Bears' upcoming draft. So I'm gonna run through it real quick. This is Fishbane's 43rd pick in the second round. Cole Kmet, the tight end from Notre Dame that we've talked about in the past.
Seems like a perfect
the
fit.
50th pick. He's basically viewed as the top tight end in the draft.
Did you guys know that his dad was a practice squad member of the Bears as well?
Yep.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that. Because he's from right outside Chicago.
I would think that the Bears brass are going to be talking about hey, maybe let's pick this guy up.
They played that angle up a lot. So far.
Notre Dame too in Chicago. Come on, man.
The couple months is
St. Viator product.
Yeah. Walter. I mean, what's the name? What's Walter Payton? Jared Payton. All right. The 50th pick, the next pick, Terrell Lewis, an edge rusher from Alabama. Anthony Gordon, which
stop right quick. Give me some notes on that kid right there from Alabama. You are a big Roll Tide fan. What do you think?
Physically, a guy that has the physical traits that you want, but is rough around the edges. That's kind of what I got from this article.
Would you trade him and try to possibly coach him up to take over for Leonard Floyd?
Of course.
Right.
Especially if you're going to take him in the second round. Like initially this year, you probably wouldn't, even though the discussions I heard on the radio today were a lot about perhaps trying to bring in a player and use Leonard Floyd to see if you can bring in a player through via trade. Okay. Anthony Gordon, Gardner Minshew 2 from Washington State. With the 4th round pick, 144, 5th round pick at 163, a Temple cornerback, Harrison Hand, which is a funny name for a cornerback. 6th round, 196, receiver from Boise State, John Hightower. Brian Cole, safety from Mississippi, at the 2nd pick in the 6th round. John Runyon Jr., former quarterback for the Washington football team's son, is a tackle out of Michigan. The last 2 years he's been a starter. As a 7th round flyer, and then the next 7th round flyer, Tyler Huntley, a QB from Utah. I wonder if I think he's what's the name, Huntley's brother.
Oh, Brett Hundley?
Yeah, I think he's Brett. I think I looked at that one time.
Hopefully he doesn't play like Brett.
Then real quick, Adam Johns. Yeah. So he had Joshua Jones, DT from Houston, Antonio Winfield Jr., if you can remember the old Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I do.
Defensive back.
Antoine Winfield.
His son at safety, but he's undersized at safety.
How tall is he? About what?
I think he's maybe 5'9".
5'9" at safety.
That's
Is
okay.
he a strong? Is he a strong safety? He's going to lay the wood on somebody?
I think he.
Bob Sanders was only 5'9".
Well, if they're looking at him, if they're looking at the Bears drafting him, they're looking at him as basically playing a
strong.
Box.
Yeah,
because he's got to play opposite of Eddie Jackson. Even though the Bears kind of don't usually play strong, it's kind of you flip them or whatever for the most part. Albert Okwuegbunam, that was the guy that I mentioned from the combine, the tight end from Missouri. The kid is like 6'5", 250 pounds, and he ran a 4.5 something. Whoa. Yeah. They said though that at that time he's more of a straight line runner, but I mean still, you talking about a dude is big. But he's not he doesn't use his power necessarily blocking. But again, we're talking about a college tight end. Yeah, there may be a chance to do some refinement. Running back, Darrellton Evans from Appalachia State. Linwood, that was the first 6th round pick. Linwood Bolden, a receiver, kicker from Kentucky. The second pick in the 6th round, Trevis.
You say a kicker?
No, kick returners.
Kick returner.
Kick returners. What I meant to say. Edge rusher from Tulsa. Then Cole McDonald, a QB from Hawaii, and Jacob Breland, a tight end from Oregon, as the last pick.
Okay, all right.
Ryan, what you got?
You say you got the Nationals?
Yeah, I got some national perspective, not necessarily on all these prospects, but I'll give you some outlets. NFL.com's Chad Reeder, he has Texas Tech linebacker Jordan Brooks at number 43 and Southern Illinois safety Jeremy Chin at number 50. Lance Cartelli of 24/7 Sports thinks that the Bears will select Colorado receiver Laviska Shenault.
Then you receiver to go on the other side of to play opposite of
Al Robinson.
Al Robinson. Yeah.
Well, this is a guy that did it kind of both in the air and on the ground. He had in 2018 at least 86 catches for 1,001 yards and 6 touchdowns, and rushing for 115 yards and 5 touchdowns on 17 carries. So I think a little bit is based on how he's kind of looking as a fit in the Bears offense.
They have a measurement on him by any chance? No.
No, I can get that for you though.
Okay.
Jake Fromm at number 50 for Lance Cartelli. Josh Edwards of CBS Sports projects that the Bears will choose Louisiana guard Robert Hunt at number 43 and Notre Dame tight end Cole Kmet at number 50. DraftTech.com is predicting that the Bears will pick Minnesota safety Antoine Winfield Jr., as Ken just pointed out, number 43, and Oregon guard Shane Lemieux at number 50. And that's what I have for the national. And I'll look up those stats for you.
I think it was going to be very interesting because a lot of people are coming in with Mitchell Trubisky, so many side eyes looking at him, and just say you have a second round pick and maybe the first one they don't go. They're going to go with him. Maybe they go with the tight end out of Notre Dame, right? They definitely need the tight end. But if Jalen Hurts is there at the second, he's still there on the board at the second round, and you have so many questions with Mitchell Trubisky, I am very curious to see what would they do.
By the way, he ran a 4.5840 Laviska Shenault Jr., and he's 6'1", 227 pounds, 9-inch hands.
All right. You would need Jalen Hurts to be ready to play this year if you're going to take him in the second round. Like, you really are like Mitch. You bet if you got a contract out there for Mitch, you better snatch it off the table. Because if you're drafting a quarterback in the second round, that's not a flyer.
I want to ask you guys something.
I agree with you.
Also, I don't think Tyler Huntley is not Brent Huntley's brother.
I want to ask you something.
Well, yeah.
In terms of the quarterback position, if the Bears might draft. At the Combine, they kept saying, we got time to decide on Mitch's fifth-year option because they got to tell man. Everyone's like, well, that's BS. How could you have no idea, like, we got to let things like go in order before we get to that point with Mitch? Do you think that they're maybe looking at the draft as like, hey, if there's these few quarterbacks that are there when we're drafting, we're going to take them. If they're not there, then we'll sign Mitch.
That's possible.
I think everything's on the table.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's their thinking though? That it's coming down to, hey, if there's you guys are available.
Well, that also means they are not, I guess, looking to sign a veteran QB that could take his spot,
which would conflict with reports.
True. I told you. I don't know what they're going to do
because they can't. Like,
I really don't know.
Would do that. We would sign and draft. We talked about on the show.
Absolutely.
But they probably aren't going to do that, right? So if they sign a veteran, they're probably not going to draft a quarterback unless it's deep in the draft. Is that kind of how we're thinking? Or if they don't sign a quarterback, that maybe they might go high with quarterback and draft?
They're going to sign a quarterback. The thing is, will there be the value they place on competition?
Right.
I guess if it's like Case Keenum, would you still maybe draft a guy high versus like Andy Dalton that you're trading for?
I don't see them. And again, this could just be me being wrong. Unless they have a high grade, and this could be like, now this could be a player going up in Jalen Hurts or maybe Eason from Washington. They have a high grade on him and he falls down to the second round. But it'd have to be in one of those situations. It'd have to be them having a high grade on them. I don't think they're looking at in second round, we have to take a quarterback.
I'm with you.
Because they have too many holes and they have to pay too many people, and they need.
But we all know that
they want to believe in Mitch.
But the quarterback position.
I'm not even putting it on the Mitch, on them having faith in Mitch. I'm putting it on them getting talent in the room. Man, Ryan Pace has let a lot of draft picks go. This is your second year. I agree. It's coming off of the Mac trade, which was a good trade, but there were less bodies in the room depth wise. You can't sit here and really bring in guys in the second round, which is your first 2 picks, who are going to be not rotational players. Let me say that. Guys that aren't going to be in the rotation. Like I don't think.
Here's my question. Here's my question. Do you think Jalen Hurts is going to be better than Mitch Trubisky?
Yes.
Then you take him.
I don't think so.
Then you take him.
But I mean, no. Because it depends on where he lands. It depends on if he's given a chance.
No. I'm saying you had to pick. He was right there. Do you think Jalen Hurts is going to be better than Mitch Trubisky?
I think it's definitely a chance. He should be.
I think he'll probably be. I trust him a lot more than Mitch. And that's not even now. I'm saying out of the draft. The big thing I had out of the draft, you were a 1-year starter at North Carolina, and you couldn't even beat out the guy before that.
Exactly.
That started over you.
My man's been at 2 powerhouse schools, and both times he's been in the college football playoffs.
Even when Jalen Hurts was beat out by Tua, he came back in a game
won
where
a
Tua
national championship.
Well, and the fact that when Tua got injured, he came back and kept them alive.
Yes.
How did he win a national?
No, I mean not win a national championship, but he kept them alive though.
Yeah, he got him to the championship.
He won that SEC championship.
Yeah. Exactly. Then go out to Oklahoma and he do his thing out there too. Listen, I think the quarterback hole is a huge hole for the Chicago Bears.
I think we all do. I'm just saying,
if he's there, I'm taking him.
I got another question.
It's just me personally.
For you guys.
I'm getting a 3rd round pick and coming back and phone. I'm trading a pick from next year. I think the Bears should trade a pick from next year and get a 3rd and come back and get a 3rd round.
I don't hate that. I mean, with Anthony Miller, they swap with the Patriots a second next year for a second this year.
I'll give you a 3rd and a 6th. All right, and I'll come back
up and try to go get him in the 3rd round. If he's in the 3rd round,
I don't know. I think
he might be gone, y'all.
It's a chance.
Hurts.
People say
he's probably gonna be gone.
People say he's gonna jump to the 2nd. I think it'll probably be the back end of the 2nd. But if I can get that first,
depends how quarterback desperate people are.
If I can get to that first end, but also see the thing is we don't know where. I know everyone's talking about like 4 QBs are going in the first round.
I'm with you.
But what happens if 2 of those QBs, not the 4, but let's just say the 4th and the 5th, fall into the 2nd?
That's what I said last time when we were debating. What if 3 quarterbacks go in the top 5 like they're talking about?
Yeah.
And then you've only got a couple more guys that are going to go in that first round, early second round because it's just those are the guys left.
Basically, we're saying what happens if you have Tua, Burrow go and Love goes.
Yeah, or
and then
Herbert,
Justin
somebody
Herbert.
loves
Yeah,
him.
We're saying if Herbert and Love are the guys that's out. And then in the 2nd round, automatically you have Love or Herbert and Eason.
Yeah.
Like what happens?
And maybe one of those, like let's say Love goes 25 to whoever.
Yeah, that's the thing where I don't know if I don't want to over, and I hate to say this because if you got your guy, you go get him, but that's what led you to Mitch. But I don't want to overdraft Jalen Hurts when I can get good value on him because I'm trying to cover up another mistake. I'm not disagreeing with you, but again, I can't sit there.
It's fair.
Like the Bears are in the championship window, so either. And I don't think they would be like, well, we got to get Hurts ready. But you damn near got to have that kid ready by next year.
I agree.
If you're going to draft him in the 2nd round.
I agree.
My question is, do you think there's any way they go maybe off the wall a little bit? Like, what about if Jonathan Taylor's sitting there like 50?
No.
Would you even consider like a running back as a playmaker or something like that?
If listen, you have to swallow so much crow for going out and getting Montgomery last year.
True. Or moving Howard.
But like you said, they need a battering ram.
Yeah.
That would be a battering ram.
Yeah.
Right there.
He could take a lot of
playmaker.
But I mean, you spending premium draft capital in the first 3 rounds
on a running back
2 years on running backs that's ridiculous.
In this day and age in the NFL.
Yeah, and you supposed to be able to find this stuff.
Yeah, that's the whole. But that would be it. It would be an indictment on them because you should be able to find running backs kind of like anywhere.
Yeah,
but
you got to think they should like cross that off the list. Just no.
You know what?
Offensive lineman.
Yeah, you need O-line.
But let's say there's not a guy like. What if Taylor's a much better prospect on your board, best available?
I'm not drafting a running back.
Okay, that's fair.
Like
I get that.
You went out and got Montgomery. You better use the hell out of that.
He was a
kid.
second round pick, right?
He was a third
round pick.
Yeah.
They traded up.
They traded up to get him. That's right.
If you sit there and did, dog, you better do it because you're just blowing picks now. Like, and then it's worse because you're blowing picks when you have a championship defense.
But think about this: are they necessarily blowing picks if you have a for sure talent like that? Because as we just said, they haven't been able to find.
I'd rather have Taylor than Montgomery.
But they haven't been. Okay, it's fine though. I'm just saying. But now you maybe have both of them. But think about it.
I don't want both of them.
But they need that. If they need that battering ram, they want to have that yin and that.
You can get that battering ram for about $2 million in the damn free agency.
But if you think he's special,
but this is my point though.
That's a lot of tread on that tire.
But this is my point though. They haven't been able to do that.
Well, a lot going off that.
They haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to go out there and find these guys. Like, damn, how did they find that guy? They haven't been able to do that. So is their best bet, like, man, listen, we know this is a for sure kid. We know it's a high draft pick, but we got to take him. So they're not good enough to go out there and find gems. But they're not good enough to find gems.
You wasted Montgomery there.
Yeah.
I don't think you think you're gonna waste them and Nagy's offense?
I think he could play with Taylor.
I think you play both of them.
Dude, Taylor is a workhorse.
Yes.
You got to lather that kid up and let him go. If you're going to do that, and then you're going to have two naive running backs in there, we're not even talking.
We ain't got Cohen. That's not even.
No, but I'm just saying those two as your bell cows. We're not even talking about QB protection with a rookie and a second year player, right? Like, dude. You like some of this. The draft is
fair.
Yeah,
it's definitely fair.
You need a tight end,
you need offensive in a guard,
and an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
they have a lot. Some people have them taking a tackle.
Either one.
Yeah, so go out, get you a tackle, get you a tight end, or if there's a cornerback, there's an exceptional cornerback that falls there that you want to take. Cool with that. But like that's what you focus on. What you really need. I know it's best player available.
What if it's like a receiver's best player available?
He better be a burner.
You need somebody opposite of Allen Robinson, in my opinion.
One of the guys. I don't know if it's John Taylor or let me see who.
Because for me, I'm thinking with the Bears
or Lyndon Bowden. But in this article, I think it's Taylor. They licked him as a Swiss Army knife for a guy who can do all things. That's cool and all, but they need a burner. And they need someone to, because think about what Allen Robinson can do if someone can blow off the top. That's a true threat.
Wasn't that supposed to, not Wims, that wasn't supposed to be Wims. That's supposed to be Miller. Isn't Miller supposed to be like kind of a burner?
Well, I think he's more of your slot.
Taylor Gabriel. Burner. But I agree with you. They do need a burner.
They need
an offensive playmaker.
But they do. They need a dynamic playmaker. They need a dynamic playmaker.
If they drafted a running back, he better be a huge part of the offense right away.
Honest with you, man.
And he's talking about a head coach that don't like to run the ball.
He's a free agent or whatever. Man, go out and get you a Frank Gore or Adrian Peterson. Like, go get one of them old ass running backs who some other team is like, we're gonna let you go.
I agree with you, but have we seen them do that?
To your point, D, they don't like to run the football, so it's kind of hard to imagine them caring about a running back. But I'm just thinking in the draft, Cole Kmet, we like him as tight end. Let's say he goes at 42 and you just don't have a shot at getting him at all. Like, do you start looking at offensive playmaker? Like, let's just get a playmaker and put him out there because we need other help besides Allen Robinson. We got nobody else that can do really anything.
You said you answered the question. They don't even run the ball.
Yeah.
So,
but
we just gonna keep the caddy in the garage there.
But they do need to run the ball.
Yeah,
that's why Ryan's bringing up Taylor.
And
they need to do it though. But they also they haven't been able to just find those gems. They don't have that kind of
Tariq Cohen.
But I guess he's got to be a receiver now.
Guy though. But he had a great.
Well, he's a gimmick guy because.
They don't utilize him right, maybe. I don't know.
But the thing was, because you didn't ball out. So now you got the safety, either the safety, the linebacker, and whoever is defending Tariq Cohen. If it's a corner, it's easy for those two to key in on Tariq Cohen coming out of the backfield.
That's a good point.
If your U was doing his thing, then Tariq Cohen singled up.
I agree with you. Hey, listen, they have a lot of holes.
Do you guys think that the second corner is a huge hole? Because I think that might be less of a hole.
No, it's a hole. Because we can't go into we can't say that Tolliver is a real starter, and we can't go in here and say Roberson is that guy. Now you got to sit there and make sure you throw some depth in there, and just in case you add somebody else in the situation.
Is that a high priority in the draft to you, or is that
corner?
First 4 round. I mean, I think I would say
one of your first 3 picks.
Probably, maybe 5th round,
really?
maybe. But yeah, I think you need. Like you don't get exposed. Like people forget that Prince Mukamura played his best football as a Bear.
He did very solid.
Like he was solid as a Bear, man.
He was.
Like people.
He didn't maybe have the interceptions, but you didn't see a lot of guys running free against him.
Yeah, so
no, he didn't. No, he had a good year.
They had 2 solid cornerbacks, and again, I think you may want to invest in that because you're going to need some cheap labor in that defensive backfield and in that linebacking core.
I would be if I was Ryan Pace, I'd be very tempted to go offense. First 3 picks. And that might be the wrong way to go, but
it is because you got to get something back to that defense.
But I got to get an offense, something. They got to be higher than 20.
Also, let's not forget there still is free agency. So some of these things you're gonna solve and through free. They may get alignment in free agency.
Maybe
so
a cheap number 2 corner.
Yeah, then you can lower where you have to draft that
need. Yeah.
So if let's say if it was an offensive lineman, if you bring in an offensive lineman now, instead of drafting with your first 3 picks, you can draft him with your last 4 picks, perhaps. So as far as filling in that room, so they need depth, and when I mean depth, I'm not just saying guys who play behind guys. You want these guys to maybe prove to be better than that, but they have he's giving away picks every draft basically.
I know.
You have to.
It's hard to even envision him trading down to pick up like a 3rd rounder.
You got to fill up those rooms, man, with cheap labor.
Like you said, if he's going to get a 3rd rounder, it's going to be trading some picks from next year to get into because he's not trading number 50 down or something to get to the 3rd.
No, he's not. That's not who he is.
But you know what you do though? Like a good GM, it's a player on your team you see that's playing decent that you're not going to re-sign. He has a year or 2 left. And let's just say, like I said, you gave up a 3rd and a 6th. The next year, you trade that player in the offseason and you at least get a 4th or maybe perhaps get that 3rd back. That's what Belichick would do. Like, that's what you do. You sit there and you take control of the draft and use it to benefit your team.
And, Ryan Pace, he used to trade down. Like how we got Coby White here was a trade down and he got an extra couple picks. It seems like over the last few years, he's talked about it, like how the board of the roster, and I guess green means go and red means bad. And he's like, we're seeing less and less red and more green across the board because we got depth and players supposedly. So now it's like he's trying to target specific guys, go up and get them, do anything. He's got to rein back that a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. He needs to be able to be like, okay, we might not get the guy we want, but how can we make this a good situation? How about we pick up a couple extra picks?
That would make sense. That would totally make sense.
I saw
the hyper aggressiveness with his picking has to
what's the
back a little bit.
What was the Texans former vice president GM that got fired?
Oh yes, the brother.
Is his last name Smith?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Smith something.
But I forget
what about him?
So he was on NFL Live yesterday talking about how he loved, I think it was 2017. No, it wasn't 2017. I forget which draft it was, but he loved Patrick Peterson. And they were going to move up to get Patrick Peterson. And 2 picks before that pick, the Cardinals got him, right? And said that they ended up drafting J.J. Watt, and people was upset with him when he drafted J.J. Watt. And
Rick Smith,
thank you. And just to point out that sometimes staying at your spot isn't the worst thing.
Right.
That's true too.
It may be a blessing in disguise than you overvaluing a player who is not going to be that
because
player.
Because he's your guy.
Because, I mean, listen, even if you have Patrick Peterson, J.J. Watt's been banged up. Patrick Peterson is not J.J. Watt.
No. Who's had a better career?
I love
J.J.
Watt. Yeah. I love Patrick Peterson, but still, like sometimes when you don't make that move, it's the better move.
And you never know with how that can affect your team, right? Like JJ was a different player than Patrick Peterson. Who knows if those Texans teams would have been as good defensively if they just had that corner.
No pressure.
They would have had no pressure.
And JJ Watt dominates with the run game too. Like
they would have no pressure.
You don't know.
Yeah, you never know what happens. All right, hey, thanks for hanging out with us, and always love it when you download the podcast, D and Davis Show and D and Davis to Flip. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D and Davis Show. Once again, it's at D and Davis Show. It's on Twitter and IG. iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Music, Stitcher, the TuneIn app. We're on Anchor. We're show to Spotify, YouTube as well, and a whole host of other podcast platforms. Simply search for The D and Davis Show and D and Davis The Flip. Facebook.com/D and Davis Show as well. I'm on Twitter and IG at Demons1. Ken's on Twitter and IG at That's Davis. Ryan's on Twitter at Ryan B. Ski and IG at Ryan B. Ski 1.
All right. Westworld returns this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to bring you our Westworld pod.
Yes, I'm coming for you, baby.
You better wait in line. So definitely look forward to that. Please be safe. Wash your hands. My hands are so ashy from the amount of washing that I've been doing.
Been playing in powder, boy?
No, it's just that like now I like if whatever I do, like I touch something in the office, I try to wash my hands and be cognizant of that.
Yes.
So I'm washing my hands a lot, but definitely wash.
Don't touch your face either. Also, don't touch your face.
Yes. Stay away from older people if you can. If you really care about them, leave them alone.
I thought you were going to say because you don't like old people.
Yeah, I thought so too.
No, I like old people. No, I want to be one.
Yes.
You're almost one.
Leave them.
There you go.
That's not going to work.
There you go.
Yeah, you're going to have to kill that. But definitely stay away from the older people. Definitely.
But check up on them, though.
Call them.
FaceTime if they have a
I know
smartphone.
Peapod is.
Well, I don't know if you should FaceTime because then they're touching their phone.
Well, they're touching their phone anyway.
Yeah,
they got a house phone. They're old.
No, my grandma got a house phone. She FaceTime with Gracie.
Yeah, she's got a house phone, right? You gotta call the house phone.
She got a house phone, though.
Don't do anything before you hear from us again.
Keep your hands to yourself.